us. And we're live.
How's that for a hard open?
What's
I
up?
don't know about you guys, but I'm very hard with that open.
Oh, God. He hasn't even cracked the bourbon yet, and we're already there.
Oh, jeez. Welcome to the Big Dudes in the Trenches Draft Day Extravaganza. As we do, we're streaming the first live.
I think we can call it a marathon at this point.
It's not a marathon. We do not do the entire draft.
And we don't guarantee we'll be here tomorrow.
Fair.
Actually, I guarantee you we will not be here tomorrow. That's
there you go.
Where we're at. But we're doing the first round, as we do. There will be eating happening and analysis of picks happening.
Draft snacks.
Bug will be leaving at some point happening.
Are we doing a review of some of these suits? Because holy crap, dude. Terrion Arnold's got a wild suit on right now. I don't even know what to call it. Loud, I guess? Very loud suit.
I'm watching NFL Network on my screen, which has this like 70s retro intro for everybody. And it's animated, and so I can't tell what they're wearing.
Valid.
This is trippy. I do have my weapon of choice. It is, if you'll remember from a few years ago.
We will never forget.
Draft stream. This is the same. One and the same. Weller Antique 1907. Fresh bottle. Opening it right now.
Oh, I heard it pop.
That was not me.
I made somebody think it did, though, so that's a win.
That's because I was looking down.
It is a cork, though.
I know. That's why I was like, oh, he just popped it. But you got to tear the whole thing off the top. I'm wondering why the draft hasn't started and why the Bears haven't picked yet.
Because we're not 10 minutes into the draft. ESPN needs 20 minutes.
That's true. All right.
Not only have they not started the draft, but I like to prepare everybody. I'm going to bitch until the first pick is made, and then I'm probably going to bitch a little bit after the first pick is made. Completely different topics between bitch sessions, but it's going to happen.
That's entirely valid, dude. Like, I get it. I don't know where I'm going with this anymore. My mental capacity right now is lower than normal, below average, we'll call it, which for me is, we all know is saying something.
Well, you're still in your work clothes, so I'm not surprised.
Also, don't judge me too hard. I actually realized I don't have a good whiskey glass, so I'm just using a regular drinking glass.
It'd be way better if you were doing it out of a red Solo cup.
I was just thinking you're going to go. I was thinking you're going to go bottle straight.
We might get kicked off of Twitch or YouTube if we did that.
He's considering it, though.
Cup. I have red Solo cups.
There you go.
All right, I'm going to do that instead. That's better. That's way more better.
There you go. I gotta say, maybe it's because I'm not the smartest person in the world, admittedly. I don't see a real discernible difference between the draft setup this year and where they were last year when they were in KC, and it's because they're just using, it looks like the same basic shell framework that they have used in the past.
I mean, you're 100% right. And the blue this year makes sense for the city. I would have liked a little bit more red last year, but I wonder if they're just reusing it day or year in and year out, because why spend money on something new when you have something that kind of works?
Well, and I mean, I don't mind it I know, like pre-COVID, they were really big on making sure the stage and everything looked different to represent where they were at.
Yeah. So Bug, you promised me some complaining
He's
here.
out.
Well, it's a commercial, which is ridiculous because we still haven't even started the fucking draft. At least college football. Yeah, the commissioner hadn't even come out. At least college football is like, you know what? We're not going to have stupid back-to-back commercials anymore.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
I hope they're not lying. I don't.
What they said is this is not the intent. What they did not say is this will not happen.
Right.
Big difference.
Right. What Kirby Smart said is, here's the goal. What Kirby Smart did not say was, this is what we're holding TV executives to.
What I find most interesting is, Doug, you hit on this a little bit. College football is trying to get back to the median, I guess, if you want to put it like that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the pros have the helmet comm. High schools are starting to have helmet comm and access to images and replays and shit like that. And college football is finally getting there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got all that going on. Meanwhile, the NFL has, been good so far on their proposed rule changes. And they said, hey, the XFL is going to be a test bed for rule changes for us. And one of the rules that I said from the beginning, hey, if the NFL is serious about player safety, they will enact this kickoff rule because it makes the kickoff a play again, and it's a lot safer. And they did. And then you've got the UFL saying, no, you know what? That was really cool and all. But you know what else we really like? Touchbacks and kicking the ball off through the end zone and not doing the thing that was working that was making the kickoff exciting again.
I'm interested to see what this new kickoff rule does because, like you said, it brings the kickoff back into play, and that's going to put a lot of special teams coordinators on the hot seat early if they don't have a good plan for how to counteract it.
Because you've got a whole Rolodex of guys that have already been playing in it that know, hey, this is what it is. Like, you should be able to do something with that at this point. There shouldn't be any surprises. There's plenty of game film on it, plenty of different strategies, how to make it work, how to stop it, goes on and on.
I think I see what you're saying about it looking like the one in Kansas City. But I don't really know how you avoid that because at the end of the day, it is just a stage in the middle of a park.
Yeah, but what you can do is you take the host team's colors, right? And you change your backdrop to the host team colors. Like, I understand the main screen in the back is a green screen that they're going to flash different things on, but even the outside of it, you can kind of tailor to that. And I mean, I guess it is mostly screens now. So yeah, they just went full with NFL draft. Oh, that's why it's the same. Bud Light's the sponsor. Bud Light bought all those screens.
There you go.
I don't know. Like I said, I remember there being more variation and things looking different enough pre-COVID when they started. Well, no. Before it has to be after they leave Radio City. We got Eminem coming out here. What the fuck? Is he making the first pick, or is he just opening the draft?
He's probably just opening the draft because it's in Detroit. He's not picking for the Chicago Bears.
Your pick would be cursed.
It's already cursed. Shut the fuck up.
No, it's a bust. There's a difference.
So, all right, here's a legitimate question, and want your Bears fan take on this. Is it cursed because the Bears are picking here, or is only number 9 cursed because that was the Bears' original pick? Maybe number 1 works out for you this year because it wasn't your pick.
It's still a quarterback.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler is legitimately the best one the Bears have had in the modern era.
What I'm hearing is draft quarterback at 1 and at 9.
just in case. One of them's got a stick, right?
So they can have 2 guaranteed misses.
Yeah.
Hey, increases odds for the other teams. They're okay with that.
Caleb Williams, Bo Nix. Just send it.
Ben might
The
walk
draft
off on
started
stream.
10 minutes ago.
No, the draft coverage started 10 minutes ago. The draft started about a minute
The
ago.
draft coverage started 10 months ago. What are you talking about?
No, but the coverage at the draft.
The coverage at the draft started this
The
morning.
TV guide said the draft started at 7. It is 7:10.
Oh,
We
gross.
barely heard from the fucking commissioner. He hadn't even said the Bears are on the clock yet.
No, because we're bringing out everybody in Detroit because everyone realizes they hate their team because it's a disappointment. Why are there 12 people on stage?
I don't know, but I have a Barry Sanders rookie card, so that's pretty cool.
Oh my god, this is wild.
This is exactly what I expected it would be.
Is this real life right now?
Yes. Yeah, we have the Detroit Street Boys. The knockoff Detroit version of the Backstreet Boys.
We got a fucking Jared Goff chant to start the draft.
Detroit's back. All right.
What the fuck are we doing?
Oh my gosh, it's draft again.
So that little like lounge area where people are standing up with the tables, that was right off the stage in Kansas City. I can't help but feel like these people in Detroit are getting fucked over right now.
Why?
That's so far away from the stage.
That checks.
Yeah, but look how many people are there.
I still enjoy that the crowd is booing the commissioner, as always.
Was he done to deserve our cheers?
Oh, absolutely. I can still love it.
He gets paid too much to be loved.
Fair. That's
Bro,
it.
this is
Oh.
Well, we got to hear from both Barry Sanders and Megatron.
And it's official. The Bears are on the clock.
okay. So the pick is in, right?
No.
That's illegal.
And the pick is in. The Chicago Bears are now on the clock, and the pick is in, right? No,
Nope,
we gotta
nope.
wait another 10 fucking minutes at least.
Yeah, we're 20 seconds in. The pick is still not in.
That's against the rules, man.
You know what? Nothing would make me happier than for them to not get the pick in on time. The pick is clearly fucking in. Everybody's waiting for him to fucking say it.
How upset would you be if it's not Caleb Williams?
I don't fucking care.
Like, if they don't go Caleb Williams, which we all know they are, where do you want them to go?
I
Home is not an
legitimately do
option.
not fucking care. The last good first round draft pick that they had that stayed with the team, Brian Urlacher. That's why I'm wearing my Brian Urlacher jersey right now.
I like it. Give the Lobos some
24
love.
fucking years ago.
Yeah, he was a
24,
really big
25,
player.
Next one.
1999.
Was he not the 2000 draft? I thought
it
99
was
was one they took. 99 they took Cade McNown. That was fucking horrible.
That was a brilliant move.
Which, by the way, is the last time they took a Pac-12 quarterback.
So we're expecting the same results.
I think Bug's been pretty clear on this. He's expecting the same results no matter who gets drafted here.
They could take Jesus Christ and fucking self, and they would not have good quarterback play.
See, I was going to go the other way. I was going to say you could have you could be drafting Will Reichert, the kicker from Alabama, and he will be equally as good of a quarterback as Caleb Williams will be in the
No,
spot.
Ryan.
If the Bears took Brock Bowers, I would not be at all surprised. I'd be a little more excited at least.
It can't be Brock Bowers.
Entertaining.
Ryan
It would-
Pace is gone.
It would completely prolong the mystery of who they're going to take at quarterback.
Lad McConkey.
That would be on par with, like, I've made my thoughts known about what will happen if they draft Drake May here, which they won't. If they draft Lad McConkey here, same thing. Same thing applies. I've just got so many thoughts about Caleb Williams going to the Bears, and I just don't want to talk about him until it's official. So if JJ McCarthy ended up going to the Bears, I would just laugh.
Me
I
too.
would just fall out laughing.
It'd be very, very funny.
He said, "Fuck it, I'm not going to the draft." So he doesn't think he's going in the first round at least, or maybe he just wanted to. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. How in the fuck do we have 6:45 left and the pick's not in? Like, they've shown the war room twice. The only dude writing something down was probably writing down about.
Oh,
his
we have an
owner.
animation of the war room now.
Yeah, pros, because they're not fucking doing anything. They're just like, all right, well, the NFL said we have to wait.
No, it's not the NFL that said they have to wait. It's ESPN. Let's get this right.
So at the NFL, because the NFL said, yeah, ESPN, we'll play by your rules.
Oh, there's the war room again.
What are
They're
you
on the phone with
watching
somebody.
on?
Hulu Live.
But I'm saying,
Yeah,
are you
but
on
what
ESPN
channel?
or?
Yeah, it's on ESPN.
That's crazy. Because I have not seen the War Room again in a while. We're
wait,
looking at Marvin Harrison Jr. now.
Wait a minute. Homeboy was on the phone. Caleb Williams is not on the phone. Oh no, what have we got going on here?
How funny would it be if they did draft somebody else? I've seen people put down like $10,000 bets that they're taking Caleb Williams.
Jesus.
What's even the point of that? How much money would you actually make on that kind of a bet? Put on 10 grand to win 10 grand and 200. I mean,
I love
there's
how
no
we just
point.
showed. I love how we just showed a highlight of Jaden Daniels that had clear OPI on it that wasn't called.
I don't believe in OPI. DBs can get wrecked.
I do believe in OPI. I don't believe in DPI. Wide receivers can get wrecked.
That is a bad opinion. You're wrong. I'm watching the draft on NFL Network, which is way better because I have Kurt Warner and Joel Klatt.
What's
And
with the
PJ.
double Nike swoosh?
What?
I don't get it.
On what? What are you referring to?
Oh, I guess you didn't see it. They showed some stock photos of all the linemen, the draft prospects. So Fashanu, Joe Alt,
Fashioning.
a couple other dudes. And they're just sitting there flexing. What? Okay. I was like, the pick better be in. The clock fucking restarted.
Yeah, the pick's in.
And they
So it
had.
didn't take the whole 10 minutes.
It's gonna take
this
another-
an absolute win.
By the time they announce their pick, Washington's pick will be in too. I have no doubt.
Well, sure. that's not the
But they
point.
had some sweatsuits on, and they had like a double Nike swoosh. And I've seen it before, but that's the first time legitimately the other times that I've seen it, I thought it was completely fake. I was like, oh, that's not real. There's no way that's real.
Yeah, it sounds pretty dumb. I wouldn't.
I
wear
guess
a swoosh.
I guess it's not a knockoff. Hey, Laura,
Maybe it is.
get out of the fucking way so we can see who the fucking pick is. Get off my fucking screen.
I love how they're all high-fiving like their guy fell to them. Like, guys, you're picking number 1 overall.
This is fucking ridiculous.
We did it, guys. We put in the card like we were supposed to do 5 minutes ago. Yeah, we figured it out. It took us this entire 6 minutes to figure out the phone system, but we did it.
It's just a dude there who keeps trying to dial out and it just doesn't work.
It's like, do you not know how to
No,
dial
no,
out?
you have to
bro?
hit 7, 1, and then the number. Oh,
Yeah, we fucking know. It came on the screen about 5 minutes ago. They made their decision. Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking finally. This asshole walking up to the fucking microphone. Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams. Thank you. Okay.
All right, now to the real draft. Which way do the Washington Commanders go here?
Nobody knows, and I think it's going to be more exciting to talk about why they went the direction they went versus going some other way here in a minute. Okay. So here's the
10
thing.
minutes.
We've got 45 because they're going to want to talk about Caleb Williams for another 15 to 20 minutes.
Is this not going to refresh automatically? That's irritating.
One, I still think Caleb Williams is fucking overrated as hell. I just do. However, I think a lot of the character things that have been said about him have been wildly overblown, and that's based on a couple of reports that have come out of Chicago since he's been having some unofficial meetings with the team. So I will walk back some, and I mean some of my opinions that he's going to be an absolute and complete bust. I would say it's still probably a 90% chance he's going to be a bust. And I don't want to start with the lazy, oh, he went to USC, oh, he plays in the Pac-12. But man, that does play a part in it. The only Pac-12 quarterback that's still remotely succeeding is Justin Herbert. Everybody else has had quite the shelf life. The biggest thing here too, everybody's like, oh, his floor at worst case scenario, he's as good as Justin Fields. Well, people pretty much said, Justin Fields sucks. So all you did was reset the clock. That's all you fucking did. He does create a lot of plays. He does extend the play a lot. And guess what? We've seen already how that doesn't fucking work for 4 fucking years already. Maybe it was 3. I don't fucking get it.
My issue with Caleb Williams, like in my analysis, is kind of what you just said, but I'm going to go a different way. Like, can he extend the play? Yes. But if you get consistent pressure on Caleb Williams, he seems to break down and lose his composure a little bit, and he's not as consistent, which is almost impossible to say. You need to be exactly as consistent under pressure as you are when you're not. I get it, but there are some quarterbacks who thrive with that and others who struggle with it. And historically, the Bears have had an issue protecting the quarterback.
And like the biggest thing too, like I said, saying, oh, he's a Pac-12 quarterback, he played at USC, like that's lazy. He, for all intents and purposes, he's a Lincoln Riley quarterback. All right.
Yep.
But what is he won? The Heisman. That's it. Every big game that he's in, his team is lost. Now, I get it. A lot of it is that his defense fucking sucked. That's not going to be an issue for him in Chicago. The defense is much improved. It's still, in my opinion, the better part of this team, even adding Caleb Williams, because let's face it, the dude hasn't touched the fucking field yet. I'm not putting all my fucking stock in this. I'm going to hold out and see what happens. If midseason comes around and this dude's wowing me, I'll be the first one to admit it. If he's fucking shit in the bed, you probably won't hear me say much except, yeah, that's pretty much what I expected, because that's what I expect.
I don't, and this is where I don't like first-round quarterbacks like this with these kind of expectations. He is not going to come in and change the franchise. He is going to struggle in year one. That is how this goes. Quarterbacks are not like coaches where you give them 3 years, and if they're not there, then you move on. That's not the case.
CJ Stroud is the one that just came in and performed well. Let's real quick. Fuck the Texans. They've done it twice now. But it's not going to happen 2 years in a row where you have a hot shot rookie quarterback that just comes out of the gate and performs like that. It's just not going to happen. And this is not on Caleb Williams. The Bears fucked him by not going and getting Russell Wilson or getting Kirk Cousins. Do I think they had a shot at getting Kirk Cousins? Probably not. Go ahead.
Who's the other rookie quarterback that balled out for the Texans that you're thinking of?
Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
he was going to win Rookie of the Year until he got hurt. At least that's my opinion. And I don't think it's an unpopular opinion.
Because my mind immediately went to Davis Mills. I don't know why. I
Yeah,
was like, I
no,
don't think he was that
he's
great.
another one.
after I said that, I was like, fuck, they drafted Davis Mills too.
And Matt Schaub, who wasn't good, but
Yeah, but when you're looking at drafting quarterbacks, if you're batting 500, you're doing pretty good at drafting quarterbacks.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do the Bears go out and perform great? I will say this, right? I've kind of gone through a lot of negatives. Caleb Williams, 110% is coming into a much better situation in Chicago than Justin Fields or Mitchell Trubisky did. They've got an offense built up around him pretty well. Do they still need pieces on that offensive line? Yeah, I think so. But looking through all the skill positions, it's there. Yeah, maybe if they wanted another tight end, cool, but they don't need to draft one. They've got the wide receivers, potentially going to be drafting one. Potentially they do go Olu Fashanu, which, hey, I'd be fine with that too. Doug, we were talking about it before the show. He was the number one tackle in the draft last year and said, nope, I'm going back to school. I'd be absolutely okay with them taking him at number 9. I'm not going to believe that this team is going to do anything good until they actually do. Like I feel like a fucking Lions fan right now, honestly.
I mean, that's entirely valid. And the worst part for you as a Bears fan is you've seen a team in the division consistently handle the quarterback situation correctly. As much as you hate to admit it, we have to acknowledge.
That's why I was saying, like, take Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
take Kirk Cousins, like, get somebody in there. But at the same time, does that even fucking work? Because you're taking them literally to be the mentor. We've already seen that fucking fail before with Andy Dalton. We've seen it fail with a couple of the other guys that they've brought in the past. So they have to get it right eventually and keep the same fucking offense in place.
That's the key. Is you got to get that one quarterback first who can do it, and then as he gets older and ages out, then it's time to go get your next one.
This is about to be the third or fourth offense in as many years. Like, what the fuck? Like, there's no consistency to how this offense is run. How the fuck do you expect to have any success?
I'm just saying, I almost want to be the dude that does the jerseys in the back because you get to know the pick like 2 minutes before everyone else so you can sew the name on.
I would put money on it that they just iron on the nameplate in the back.
I thought I saw
it before. Put a lot of fucking money on it.
They sew a nameplate on the back. So it is, they sew something on, but it's pre-made nameplates.
Yes, correct.
Jaden Daniels going to the Commanders.
Yes.
I'm a little surprised.
I am not.
Yeah, that's the way it's been trending the last few weeks.
I would say even more so just the last couple days. Jaden Daniels has become the clear number 2 overall pick. There has been a lot of revisionist history about Drake May's tape at UNC where, yeah, there are things he needs to work on still. He's a 21-year-old quarterback prospect. Jaden Daniels is 23, 24, and had 3 years at Arizona State and 2 years at LSU to develop. Of course, he's going to be further along in his development. But that does mean that he's further along in his development. So you're getting a guy who doesn't need as much coaching to be able to perform right now. And if you're the Commanders, you're in a situation where you really don't have time because your offensive line is getting older, your defense is getting older at a couple of really key positions. If you want any shot at contention for even the playoffs in the near-term future, you need a quarterback who can step in and play right now. And that's not Drake May. Drake May probably has the brighter long-term future, depending on what situation he goes into. I don't know if I think that situation works if he goes to the Patriots here, just because that team is dog shit around him.
Yeah.
But
With
also,
a rookie head coach at that.
I don't think the Commanders' situation is all that great for that rookie guy who needs some development. So Jaden Daniels does make a lot of sense. The one thing I will push back on everybody on, people have been saying they're going to want Jaden Daniels because of his scrambling ability, his rushing ability. I believe in Drake May's rushing ability. If you watch the guy scramble and break, contain out of the pocket at UNC, he does so extremely well as one of the more physical runners as a quarterback that we've seen in quite some time in the draft. Even better than Jaden Daniels. So I don't agree with that narrative, but I understand the position of taking the guy who's going to go ahead and be your starting quarterback right now.
Yep.
Back-to-back Heisman Trophy winners, 1 and 2 here.
Speaking of the Heisman, what are y'all's take on Reggie Bush finally getting his
About
trophy
fucking
back?
time.
That's what I expected.
Right.
I've made the argument with people for a while, like, explain to me how accepting money makes you a better football player. And the best argument I've ever heard is, well, maybe he doesn't go to USC if that money's not there. Fair enough, but it's not like we're talking about, oh, he went to Memphis and was the best fucking player in the world by a country mile like he was when he was at USC. He went to an established football powerhouse. If he'd have gone to Memphis in 2005 and played well and magically won the Heisman, they probably would have been like, there's no fucking way this kid goes to Memphis of his own accord.
Yeah.
Like what happened with SMU in the 80s.
Right.
Where everybody all of a sudden decided to go to Southern Methodist to play football. Yeah.
Apparently we got a big Methodist population in the country.
That's your red flag.
Yeah.
Going to USC is not all of a sudden, whoa, what is he doing? Jeez.
Doug had to poop. And that's the story we're sticking with.
Mm-hmm. And he's not here to say otherwise, so it's true.
The Patriots pick is in.
So I do expect that this will be Drake May.
How crazy would it be if they went J.J. McCarthy here?
How crazy would it be if they went Marvin Harrison?
And just cucked the Cardinals?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Could also, legitimately, it could be a tackle. I doubt it.
Buffering.
But they do have Jacoby Brissett. And, if they don't love Drake May or J.J. McCarthy, then set yourself up better for the future.
Seeing Joe Alt go at 3 would be kind of wild. We've been projecting him at like 6, 7.
Only because the quarterbacks are expected to go higher, not because Joe Alt's a 6 or 7 overall kind of a player.
That's fair.
Most years with a normal quarterback selection, Joe Alt's going 2, 3, 4 overall anyway.
Right.
I mean, Joe Alt's a phenomenal left tackle. Those kind of guys go in the top 3.
Right. I'm also curious if...
That was a quick poop.
Good job, man.
Must
have been wet.
Gotta feed the dogs, is what I said.
Oh, that's what we're
Dude,
calling
that's
it,
gross. Unbelievable.
Patriots fans, enjoy your North Carolina quarterback. I know I didn't enjoy mine. And there's what you deserve after your reign of terror that you had over the league.
So no chance the Cardinals trade out here. They're going Marvin Harrison.
That's what they're saying.
What if it was
Drake May? Even though the screen is not populating. I wish that it would.
For some reason, the guys at NFL Network didn't have this pre-doped, and they're just waiting and struggling to input it. Their internet went down. It's a bad day for them.
Did nobody tell him, like, hey, as you're walking down the corridor there's going to be a camera on there. Make sure your fly's fucking zipped before you get there?
And that's
did.
the quarterback of the Patriots, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, the last time we saw the quarterback of the Patriots looks like he just got done eating 5 cheeseburgers and was halfway waddling on day 2 down the hallway.
That's great. Love that.
What if I told you the Patriots took Cole Strange? No.
You're welcome for that great memory.
That
don't share.
lives in
That
BDT
will
lore.
forever live in BDT history.
Yeah, and I'm not going back and watching an episode either. Ain't happening.
I don't know if I could
I
find it
refuse.
to watch it.
So we were just talking about while you were gone feeding your dogs,
So
quote
to
unquote.
speak.
We were talking about how Joe Alt would have been a really fascinating pick for the Patriots there. If they would have done that, it would have been very fun.
Would have had to play alongside Cole Strange. Would have made a lot of sense.
And protecting Jacoby Brissett,
Yep.
who is not the worst option.
No, I actually don't mind Jacoby Brissett taking the starter job here. And like we were just talking about, being kind of that mentor in that stopgap while Drake May learns and matures into the quarterback he should be. Why does he look 12?
He's the youngest quarterback who's going to get drafted.
Yes.
Bro, he looks like he has more of a baby face than I do.
Well, at least he looks older than Zach Wilson.
Not by much.
Speaking of Zach Wilson,
Broncos quarterback Zach Wilson.
is he the new Broncos starter by default, or like
No,
what's
there's
going
a
on with that?
3-way trade for I don't want that, or there's a 3-way race for I don't want him as my starter out in Denver.
I believe that they are going to select Spencer Rattler in the 3rd round, and he's going to take that starting job by the balls.
I don't hate that.
See how the real USC produces quarterbacks.
All right, we are 3 picks in, and
You could have said take the reins or take it by the cock, but you didn't. You decided to go by the balls. It was right
I
there
know.
in front of you.
I didn't plan far enough ahead as I was throwing stuff off the dome piece.
careful with that. That can lead you down some bad ways.
I didn't say
Oh,
it was
look, it's
any
Drake Mays
good.
High School.
You went to Drake Mays High School?
No.
I was going to say, that's wild. I've seen your high school. I don't think Drake May went there.
It's a shithole.
Drake May is also the guy who said people who go to NC State only go there because they couldn't get into UNC.
He's probably not wrong. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, the pick is in for the Cardinals.
It's done been in, brother.
Well, it just
That
updated
too.
on our screen, so relax, brother.
That 2-minute stitch time ain't no fucking joke back there.
It's the best we got. And if I click away from this tab, it makes me refresh it before it'll auto update. So we just got to stay on it and hope we get.
And bear through it. I don't.
You, man?
I don't see what everybody's seeing in Drake Bay. I really don't.
You can't see past the Tar Heel logo.
I will
Get
never
over
see
yourself.
past the Tar. Well, here's the thing. Sam Howell was supposed to be the fucking guy too. And what did the Commanders
who
just do?
3 people, all Commanders fans, said that. No one else in the world said that.
People were pretty fucking high on Sam Howell coming out of UNC.
Okay, sure.
I actually
Yeah, I
thought
said the
Sam
same.
Howell
I
did
said
okay
the
last
same
year.
thing when
Like,
people want to talk about. When people say the same thing about Trubisky, I'm like, who the fuck was? And they're like, oh, there people were. And I was like, they're fucking idiots then.
First Buckeye off the board, Marvin Harrison Jr. As expected.
Yeah.
And a surprise to nobody at all. It seems right that the Cardinals are going to have a massive wide receiver with dreads coming out of his helmet to replace the one that is he retired? Did DeAndre Hopkins retire? I feel like he
I
retired.
thought you were talking about Larry Fitzgerald. I was like,
Yeah,
he's
I
been
thought
retired
you
for a
were
long
too.
time.
He's replacing DeAndre Hopkins, who replaced Larry Fitzgerald.
Right.
Yes, you're right. I mean, there's a lineage here.
Yeah, D Hop was traded to the Titans, I think, last year.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Oh, hey, look, we get pictures of him and his dad. Oh, gross. Get the Super Bowl one off my screen, please. Thank you.
So here's where are you leaving us?
Huh? No. Hat was hurting
Okay.
my head.
It is smaller than it should be for you. That's all right.
So what?
All right, I'm gonna
It
need
is
you to put.
smaller than it should be for you.
I'm gonna
'cause
need you to
I
put a
didn't
hat
realize
back
what
on. You
size
don't
it
look
was.
right.
I'll put your favorite hat on then. My AstroTurf hat.
That's fine. A hat. You don't look right without a hat. I'm sorry. You just don't.
I bought that Bears hat for him when I was at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, and I didn't realize at the time that it was a small to medium.
I can wear it in short bursts. I can wear it in short bursts. Okay, so here's the thing that's fucked up is I have a Cubs hat. It was their spring training hat from like 3 years ago, and it's a flex fit like that. And I don't remember fucking up the elastic, but I did. And now it's like it just like kind of sits on my head because it was the correct size. And now the elastic's all fucked up. So like if a dog farts and I'm like bent over, it's gonna knock my hat off because any little bit of wind will knock it off. And I'm trying everything in my fucking power to stretch it and like distress the elastic on the sides to get it to that point because I think it'll fit perfectly then.
Why are you bending over in the direction of dog farts? Is my follow up to that.
Real question. That's the only thing we pulled out of that entire conversation.
That's a good question. I don't know. Do the Chargers put their money where their mouth is and go JJ McCarthy here?
No,
No, I think they.
no,
trade.
they don't. If they were to put their money where their mouth is on JJ McCarthy, this would be a trade spot, and they would set him up nicely with the Minnesota Vikings instead of risking that he gets selected by the New York Giants.
How much?
But I don't think they do that.
Like we're not an NFL show. Like our focus is on college football, and how much of it is the Giants? How much of it's fucking dollar store Eli Manning?
Why they suck?
Yeah,
It's the
I
offensive
mean, the
line.
overall roster is not very good.
I think Daniel Jones has shown flashes of.
That's his name.
Good. That's why they paid him because they did pay him. They did sign him to an extension.
And that extension is why Justin Fields is playing for the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers now.
I think it's the entire roster. They couldn't figure it out. They don't have a good way forward. They can't protect Daniel Jones. He's climbing up a hill to even get anything going.
Oh, so this is an exciting thing. It looks like we're going to a commercial here, and they're doing the quarterbacks morphing their jerseys into their new jerseys. I'm assuming this was all done with Photoshop, and they didn't put these guys in this shit in some studio. Which, you know, bravo for the Photoshop work here. Commercial with 3 minutes left in the pick. I feel like we're kind of getting to that range where they're probably picking and they're not trading here. So who do we really think that the Chargers are going to take?
Well, that's why I actually think that it's driving down as low as it is. Most of these guys, we've seen the pick in at this point. They're listening to offers. Yeah, you're right. They could be going wide receiver here, and that's about the range where I would expect them to go. They have a solid offensive line. They don't have a running back anymore. They have a quarterback, so you need those weapons. So I would, if I was required to put a name down here of who they go with, I would think Rome Odunze is who they're going. And that also tracks with my superstition of there will be a run of wide receivers in the first round at some point.
I think if Roma Dunze goes here too, it changes a lot of things. Because Malik Neighbors would then become the next best available wide receiver. And the Giants need offensive line. That's probably where they're going. The Titans need big wide receivers. The Falcons potentially could go Malik Neighbors, but I think they probably need some size there as well. And the Bears definitely need some size at wide receivers. So I don't see them going Malik Neighbors. So as far as your run on wide receivers goes, maybe. I guess we'll have to see what happens here. What if they went Blake Corum? What if they did the big dumb and went Blake Corum at 5?
No, that's in round 2.
That's okay.
I have predicted that in round 2. They can at least guarantee he will be there in round 2.
You look like you're in thought there, Doug.
Well, I'm going through a couple scenarios in my mind of if this is a receiver, why? Why is it receiver? Like,
Who do they
I
have?
understand the conversation where like all you have in the depth chart right now are a couple of guys who have not worked out for you in the past, and you traded away your best receiving option and you lost your second best in free agency. So what you're left with is practically nothing in the
Quentin
receiving
Johnston,
room.
who might still be injured.
Quentin Johnston, who everybody hates in Los Angeles, so there's no reason to expect him to do anything.
And to your point here too, like this is, people aren't talking about it. This is a pretty deep receiver draft too.
Right. But where I'm going with this actually is what in the coaching staff's history indicates that they give a shit that their depth chart wide receiver is ass. I don't think there's anything in either the head coach or the offensive coordinator's resumes in their past that indicates that they care about the wide receiver position at all. Look at the offensive coordinator's time in Baltimore and look at the head coach's time with the team up north and with the 49ers and with Stanford. Who played receiver for those teams? I don't know. So, like, I can name you the guys who were on the team up north last year because I just had to watch them and I had to relive the pain and suffering. But it wasn't like J.J. McCarthy was lighting it up with those guys. It's all been about the run game for everything that these guys have done for their entire careers. I would not at all be surprised if this is an offensive lineman and we get a running back in round 2.
There's no way
another
Shefty
offensive
just
lineman
said
in
they
round
were
3.
looking at McCarthy, right? I did not just see that.
I mean, that's not going to happen. If they
no way.
legitimately did that, they would be paying Herbert the largest dead cap penalty in NFL history.
I think this was part of the headline that it was when he was talking was that the Chargers had turned away trade offers for J.J. McCarthy or for Justin Herbert.
Well, yeah, because if they trade him, they're paying the largest dead cap penalty in NFL history. Over $100 million in dead cap on a good quarterback. Why would you do that?
Offensive line.
Could they finally do something smart?
That's where I'm torn because I like Joel. I really do. But I thought over their last few drafts, the Chargers have been killing it with offensive linemen.
Yeah, but like you can move your Northwestern guy inside. We talked about.
Glad I'm not the only one who forgot his name. Rashawn Slater.
That's interesting too. Joe Alt's not at the draft. Just decided to go home to Minnesota or Montana.
Good.
I mean, what? Joe Thomas didn't even make himself available. He went out fishing with his pop.
Yep. I was just about to say that. Joe Thomas went fishing. Joe Alt went sitting on the couch. Who cares?
He's a massive man. Holy fuck.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He is a big dude in the trenches, one would say.
And that's our first in the draft this year, going all the way at number 5.
And we might get a record number of them in the first round.
All right, so
Very
if you're
possibly.
the Giants here, where are you going? You need
Oh,
to protect-
here's the. Are you? Oh, fuck, you have the NFL Network up. The fucking double Nike swoosh again. God.
and you're off from me, so I'd have to see it. But so if you're the Giants, where are you going? You either need to protect Daniel Jones, you need to get weapons. What are you guys thinking here?
Fashanu or trade.
It would be a fascinating move here. Is like a Dallas Turner. Just shake it up entirely.
We are due for the first round surprise.
Do we have any D3 talent available?
No, that's Bill Belichick later in the first round.
I'm gonna come down from the announce table and be like, "Hey guys, this is who you're taking."
I legitimately don't know any D2 or D3 guys who are getting any draft buzz this year.
I feel like that's the first time in at least 2 years that that's happened, though.
I know.
Holy, the pick is in.
Kind of depressing. So in another 2 minutes, we'll know who it is.
I'm thinking it'll be receiver because there are two considered great ones left on the board here. The question is, would you go Neighbors or Odunze here? I would expect with their depth chart at receiver, Odunze gives you something that you don't currently have.
And I think Odunze could fill in and be what they had hoped Kadarius Toney was going to be too.
If anyone legitimately hoped that Kadarius Toney was going to do anything in the league, they were not using their brains.
Ooh. Which way is this going to go?
That would be incredible, though, if they paired new acquisition Brian Burns with Dallas Turner on the other side and just made for the most terrifying NFC East pass rush we've seen in a long time.
Are they doing it? ESPN has been showing me a lot of the person who actually got picked, which is actually starting to tick me off. And they were just showing a lot of McCarthy. Here comes.
Oh, you know what? I know
Malik.
that's why it's so different for us. I'm actually watching the ABC broadcast.
Yep,
I know what's going on though. Because I have not had that, and I have Nick Saban on the desk talking about everything.
Shit. Let me go find ABC.
Calls game day desk.
Oh, I'm too lazy now.
Man, that was short lived. You completely just gave up on it.
Yep.
Kind of impressive, honestly.
We're watching three different broadcasts. We're going to come to you with a recommendation on the broadcast to watch here at the end of the night.
What draft snacks we all have, by the way? I
had Dots pretzels.
Nice. Just the OG?
No, the honey mustard.
The honey mustard. Okay. Have you had the cinnamon sugar ones yet?
No. It is Malik Neighbors, by the way.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, that is surprising to me because he kind of does the same thing that they have three of already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but none of the ones on their depth chart do it well.
I mean, that's true, but like, you can't just have four guys running the same exact route on the field.
Yeah, I can. It's called four verticals.
It's like one of these defensive backs isn't going to be able to cover this route.
Dude. Four slants. Come on.
Slant boy. Interesting.
I mean, Neighbors is really good. I'm not going to suggest that it's a bad move because he's not a good player. I'm just suggesting it might not have been the fit that I would have gone for if I were trying to build this roster. I'll stop there.
The other thing to note here moving into next year too is it is also worth noting that if Daniel Jones does not play well this year, he does not have any guaranteed money next year. So that is when they'd be looking to move on from Daniel Jones.
I just
All right,
go ahead.
Tennessee Titans.
Your team, so you say.
So I had said at one point.
The other thing here too, 6 foot, like that's. I might be crazy. That sounds like it's the same height for every single receiver on their depth chart.
That's what I'm saying. They already have like 3 or 4 of those guys. Anyway, Tennessee Titans obviously need some help at receiver, but again, it's not an organization that normally takes receiver. So it leads me to think it might not be a receiver. But it's a new GM and a new head coach compared to what we all knew and loved. Maybe that means everything's going to be entirely different. Also, very possible that they just go offensive line because honestly,
They need the help there too. Yeah.
And now Joe Alt's off the board. That does not at all in any way mean it's not worth taking an offensive lineman at 7 anyway. There are a bunch of really great ones. So go get somebody. Now, who would that be in this spot?
If you want,
I would think you have 3 options. In my mind, you have Fuonga, you have Fatanu, or you have Fashanu.
the 3 Fs.
Somebody with an F name is probably getting picked. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's my current guess.
And out of those, again, it's hard to say because they're going a whole new offense here.
Right.
Derrick Henry's gone, so they might not be that run base. So Fashanu might be the best option if he is truly the best pure pass blocking tackle in this class.
Or you might go Fatanu, who's probably the best mix of both that's left on the board. So Fuonga's better at run blocking than he is at pass blocking. Just the opposite of Fashanu.
And the pick is in, and we're going to commercial break, and I've got a beautiful steak commercial going on here.
I've got a mother crying.
We were talking about food, specifically dots. Have you had the cinnamon sugar dots yet?
I have not.
Doug, have you?
No, I'm not.
I think it's more of a Midwest thing. I don't know if it's gone out to
if you like churros and you don't care to demolish an entire bag of dots in a day.
All right. Side note, as you're saying this, I'm convinced that even OG dots are crack on pretzels because it is easy to just eat the entire bag.
No free ads, but yes. As we've gone on about dots 2 or 3 different times at this point.
Dude, those are great flying snacks too.
Doug,
Can
what
I
about
just
you?
say, it is also very weird we've not had a single trade yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
The pick is in for the Titans, and we have not had a trade.
That is quite crazy.
If JJ McCarthy's there at 11. Oh, man.
No, we've discussed this. The Bears are going QB.
It is true. But we also said it was going to be Bo Nix.
Yeah, but JJ McCarthy's still on the board. We didn't predict that.
Well, with JJ McCarthy on the board, that means it needs to be Michael Pratt at 9.
It's
Get the guy who beat the guy, Michael Pratt at 9.
Honestly, this is going to sound weird. If the Jets were intelligent, which I know they're not, McCarthy is actually a solid option for the future here for them. You've got a shell of a quarterback remaining who's probably got a year or 2 left at his any kind of use.
And as much as he doesn't want to be a mentor and you're going to piss him off, you'll end up just trading him to the Vikings after this year anyway, or in the mid-season. That's what happens with washed-up Packers quarterbacks. They go to the Jets and then the Vikings.
Maybe that's Minnesota's game plan here. Maybe they're not going to take a quarterback at all. They're just waiting for Aaron Rodgers to become available.
Right?
I think that's the strategy now, right? You just wait for the Packers quarterback to retire the first
And
time.
then you get a bridge quarterback for a decade until Jordan Love becomes available.
This is a valid question. At what length do we say that Kirk Cousins was no longer a bridge quarterback? Like, it felt like for damn near a decade we were like, yeah, he's the bridge. They're going to be a looking quarterback here, and he just.
I blame that on Washington. That's Washington's fault because they kept giving him the franchise tag instead of just signing him.
Yeah.
So at least the Vikings signed him.
Do you guys hear my
one-year
dog barking
deals.
from?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Do I hear the hound? Yes.
He's such a good boy. Sometimes. Other times he gets into the trash.
Yeah, I'd be beating the shit out of him for that.
Oh, bro, it's bad because we have the ones that like have the lock and they're the auto sensing opening, so you can lock it. Well, he's big enough that he knocks the entire trash can over and takes the cover off anyway. Just the entire cover. Doesn't break it, just separates it so he can get into the trash.
What a dick.
His nose gets him in trouble.
It would appear so. I'm back on my broadcast, so the pick's got to be coming here pretty soon.
All right, wild
fascinating.
option here. What if they went Brock Bowers?
Yeah, that kind of sucks, not going to lie.
It is a Titan style pick, though.
Well, that's kind of my point, though. We don't know what the Titans' style is because they just changed up the entire organization.
That would be wild.
The Titans select Eddie George.
The ghost of Eddie George.
The ghost.
He ain't
J.C.
dead.
Latham is not somebody with an F name. It is, in fact, with an
I
L
was
name.
literally about to say, what if it's J.C. Latham because they want a right tackle, and then you said Brock Bowers, and I let it ride.
Can't take it back.
I'm still counting that for myself. I called it. Fuck you.
You called it in your brain. I'll allow it.
All right. Here's my issue with this pick. Tug, you're going to love this because you've been saying it for 3 years. The Alabama offensive line is way too inconsistent to be as touted as they are. And J.C. Latham has been a part of that problem for the last couple of years, starting on the right side of that line. Now, I understand he has the size that you're looking for. You have one of the best offensive line coaches in the
That was a
NFL.
clear hold. He grabbed him and threw
the
him down.
history of the NFL in Tennessee. So I'm not at all suggesting that they shouldn't bet on the upside. But I think there are better options here.
This is
the next one of the next guys that has the prototypical size. I'll give you that. But this is not the next guy in terms of skill at the position.
What this screams to me is you went to your offensive line coach and you said, "Hey man, what do you need?" And the offensive line coach said, I need a right tackle. I need the best right tackle in the draft. I can coach this guy to the standard by the time week 1 hits. And this is the type of pick and the type of thing that makes or breaks an offensive line coach's, I won't say career, but at least his job in this moment. You are now betting a lot on J.C. Latham being able to be up to that NFL week 1 standard in a short amount of time. Like you said, you have the size, you have the natural ability, but what you don't have is the consistency. And that's going to be hard to bring up through training camp with very minimal contact.
See, even if you say that, like, who's the best right tackle I can go out and get? Are we sure that's not Amarius Mims? Like, if this works, that's great. And maybe I'm going to look stupid for questioning this in 10 years' time.
Well, we won't know until J.C. Latham retires, to be honest with you. The right tackles kind of get lost in translation throughout their career until they retire, and you're like, wow, no, he was actually really good.
All right.
At-
So you
Atlanta's
ain't
pick
about
is-
that life like we are. That's fine. You didn't have to admit it to the world.
The Atlanta's pick is in. Where
No
are
trades.
Trade.
they going?
Bears trade.
I don't see the Bears trading.
Bears
if
trade
they-
with the Panthers for the pick for a first rounder next year.
I mean, not gonna complain about that, especially if they could pull this year's second round pick. Because Bears don't have a pick again after this one until the fourth round, third round, fourth round. They only have 4 picks this year. They're the fewest in the draft
Right.
this year. Which makes sense. That it's nice to see that the moves that they've made have actually somewhat worked out, have actually been beneficial to the team this year. I'm interested to see what goes here because I really do think, depending on where the Falcons go, that's going to affect who the Bears pick.
The Falcons
they
should be
pick-
going defense.
Yeah. And if they do go defense, I think then the Bears are going Odunze. If for some reason they go Odunze, then I think they'll go Fashanu.
The Falcons have all the offensive weapons they need. They just need to use them right.
They need somebody to get them the ball, and they went out and got that somebody to get them the ball. Now, what concerns me is, while I don't hope or expect it to happen, Kirk Cousins is coming off a season where he was injured and missed the entire fucking year. What's he going to come out of that looking like? How
Yeah.
is he gonna be full recovery? Is he going to come out and be firing out all cylinders? What's kind of going to be? How's it going to be for him, really? Right.
That would be a sweet underrated pick if the Falcons just went ahead and took a tackle here.
And again, unless they take Rome Odunze, which I don't necessarily see them doing, I think we know the next pick as well, and then the Jets will be the one where we gotta maybe rack our brains a little bit and see who they're taking.
I don't know. I think it'd be in the Bears' best interest to just take an offensive lineman.
I do too. I'm not gonna lie to you because here's the other thing. Cole Kmet has really come around for the Bears and been effective. Where there were questions going into last year, there were questions like, "Hey, is Cole Kmet the right guy for this job, this position?" And he 100% is. It took him a little bit more time than I think some fans would have liked, but he's there. DJ Moore is the guy. Keenan Allen is another great wide receiving piece. You get another wide receiver in there that you expect to be amazing.
Wild. Hold on. Wild.
Okay, well, we have a 17.
Michael
so hold up.
Penix Jr.
Well, I'm glad I had that ruined for me. I appreciate you so much. Here's the only thing I hate about this. If you're going to take a quarterback to sit behind Kirk Cousins, just wait. Wait until the second or
Right.
third round. This is a extremely deep quarterback draft. There's no reason to take Michael Penix Jr.
Gosh.
There's one reason to take Michael Penix Jr. here. I'm not a huge fan of it. Unless you're not convinced Kirk Cousins is going to be ready for week 1. And I hate to say
I'm not
that.
convinced that Michael Penix Jr. is going to be ready for week 1. Motherfucker's hurt all the goddamn
Here's-
time.
Here's another argument against that, Tug. I can think of 100 million guaranteed reasons why you shouldn't take a quarterback here at number 8 overall. And I can think of 4 years and 180 million reasons why it was probably a bad move in this draft.
Sorry, I know I
I
ruined that for
fucking
you
love that
guys,
play.
but
Holy shit. The first replay they show is the dive at Indiana against Penn State in the COVID season. And it makes me so happy in my soul. Oh, it's the best fucking
That
Michael
game
Penix
was
game.
incredible. The Indiana
really
Penn State
was.
game was
It
amazing.
really fucking was.
I do apologize for ruining that for you guys, but I saw it on my watch him across Twitter and kind of got shell shocked. My bad.
Yeah, close Twitter.
It just pops up on my watch. I get the noties. I'm sorry.
Take your
off
fucking watch.
I like my watch.
Then don't
Take it
look at
off.
it.
Easier said than done.
We know you have impulse control.
Wow. All right, so learned a couple of things there, because there was some speculation that Penix was like the number 6 rated quarterback in this class at one point, and then there was plenty of speculation that JJ McCarthy was going to be a top 5 pick, and that's not happened. And Michael Penix is the 4th quarterback off the board. So to Atlanta, like what?
I understand your shell shock. I understand why you were speechless. Pick is in for the Bears. Man, that's
I just. All right, you got your pick here. Where are you going? Because if you're the Bears, this draft has gone almost perfectly for you guys.
yeah. I mean, like I said,
If it's me picking, I'm going Troy Fautanu.
Fatanu over Fashanu.
Popular. Yeah.
Why?
Because of positional flexibility, and I'm not convinced that your need at tackle is as big as you need at guard. And I could see Fautanu being an all-pro guard very easily. And I don't know if the guys you have at tackle can kick inside, and I don't like the guys you have inside. So
I don't like this line at all. I'm just going to be honest. I don't like the fucking line at all. We still haven't had a trade, by the way. Something we talked about briefly.
We've been bringing it up every pick now since number 5.
Since we haven't had a trade, yeah.
I know. Interessante.
I don't like the Bears line much either. And it's it's a chicken or the egg situation that they've had for the past couple of years. How much of it is Justin Fields holds the ball for too fucking long versus the offensive line sucks? And can you really evaluate either one fairly?
And other question is, how do we really expect Caleb Williams to not hold the ball for too long? Because he kind of did that this season.
Yeah.
So
it's almost like you're giving me more reasons as to why I'm not fucking over the moon thrilled for this motherfucker. That
right.
Like this is just, and people are gonna be fucking surprised if he does poorly. When he's a bust, people are gonna be stunned.
Let's get this straight. I am thrilled for Caleb Williams himself. I'm not thrilled for the Bears with that pick. You know what, dude? Congratulations. You're the number 1 overall pick. Good job.
Yeah, I would not ever want to be the quarterback in Chicago. And I'm a Bears fan. I just wouldn't want to fucking do it.
I don't want to hear
They did go
that
Roma
he doesn't
Dunze.
have weapons.
I'm not going to say that.
I know you won't.
I haven't
There
said
will
that
be
in 2
people
years.
who do.
It makes sense. This is kind of what everybody was thinking. Hey, if Roma Dunze ends up being there, that's where they're going to go. So
Back-to-back Cougars.
What?
Back-to-back Cougars. Oh, they're Huskies. Oops.
Yeah.
There you go.
I went Washington State.
Okay.
My bad. That's probably the biggest insult I could have had to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
The only thing worse is if you called them Ducks, I guess.
Yeah, at least that's an in-conference rival now.
You're not helping yourself. This isn't good. Just stop.
What?
The Ducks are
Oregon-
in-conference rivals.
They always fucking were.
Yeah, but now the Cougars
As
are not.
opposed to Washington State is not anymore. I understood where you're going with that. It doesn't. That's not good. Like, don't stop. Ew. All right.
Why?
Roma
do they gotta
Dunze,
act
the
like he's their
Bears.
friend? Yeah. Yeah. So like I was saying a little bit ago,
There's the trade.
This is exactly what we thought would happen. Roma Dunze going to Chicago if he was still available here. He was a little disappointing for me in the sense that there's been literally no surprise with the Bears. Is what it is. Blitnikov finalists this past year. So, makes sense.
So this tells me that there were a lot of teams calling the Jets to jump ahead of the Vikings, and the Vikings
Yep.
said, "Actually, no, we want to make sure that we get our guy." So this is probably a quarterback at 10, with the Vikings trading up one spot.
Do you think the Vikings are taking fucking JJ McCarthy here?
Is anybody surprised the Vikings executed the first trade in the draft, though?
I can't wait for them to run out of time.
I hope that happens very badly.
And then the
If they
Jets still
trade
get their
up
pick.
for a tackle here, I mean, what are we talking about? Oh man,
I think
imagine
about
they trade
Rome
up one spot
Odunze.
to get like Terrion Arnold at 10.
I think about Rome Odunze more than I think about the Roman Empire. Jesus Christ. Why was that a thing that swept across the internet?
Because TikTok trends.
Why is
Who
TikTok
knows?
a thing?
Well, it's about to not be. So
2025,
they're-
baby.
they're not banning it; they're just forcing the sale.
both
'Cause-
options there are gross overreaches of government power. We're not going there on
Correct.
this stream. Please don't take me there. I don't want to go there on a BDT stream. I'm not.
Doug, that just tells me you haven't had enough Weller yet. Go ahead, take another.
No, damn it. I will get raided. You do not understand.
Who's gonna SWAT your house?
No, Doug, it's cool. Your two best friends are in the government. It's fine.
Whoa, now.
Y'all fucking narcs. So the Vikings sent a 4th and 5th round pick, and the Jets sent over a 6th round pick in addition to swapping 10 and 11.
It's a boring trade, honestly. I mean, I get it with where
It's actually a fair bit of value to move up one spot. So I would
Yeah.
say my theory is true. I would say both the Broncos and the Raiders were probably in
Knocking at the
conversations
door.
to move up.
Yep.
We're back waiting for this commercial to get over here, and I just had Larry Bird go through a fucking ceiling. Oh, Jesus Christ. Doug, we never got your pick for draft snacks. What you got to nibble on over there?
I had some Chick-fil-A before the draft started.
I
good
hate
right now.
you.
Gross. Disappointed.
I
in
hate you
Okay.
more because you hate Chick-fil-A.
It's pretty fucking mediocre. Just saying.
This one was the
See?
second one's
See?
pretty bad.
Yeah. Because it's mediocre all the way around.
I
take-
like the sauce though.
I think that's fair. I think the sauces are good. I will also say I can't find too many places that do chicken biscuits anymore. So like if I want a chicken biscuit, I'll stand up for Chick-fil-A there. Their chicken biscuits are divine.
Their breakfast is incredible. What's those
Yeah.
little chicken bite
Oh
things?
yeah.
All
Dude.
those are so sweet.
fact,
and good.
I will say though, the fact that I can only pick between 3 or 4 pisses me the fuck off, but if I could get like
I
a
know.
10 count of those, I'd be in fucking heaven.
Right. You can get 3, 4, or the tray.
That's all you need. I want the tray. Thanks.
The tray of
Crazy.
like 40.
Crazy Frog, hello, welcome. Why the Falcons pay all that money for their favorite family member just to draft a QB?
We are asking
because-
the same thing.
because they're the Falcons. John was so surprised that he said, "Oh, let me ruin the pick for everybody," and blurt it out before we even talk about it.
What was announced? Yeah, fair. It was announced on Twitter.
So, what I will say, dude, just stop defending yourself. You're wrong. We know this. So, what I will say is, I think the Falcons did give themselves a couple of outs of the Kirk Cousins contract. It is not 4 years guaranteed. It is $100 million guaranteed, which is probably like 2 years of that is guaranteed. So you're essentially setting yourselves up with a veteran mentor, which is what you were saying, Bug, is something that teams ought to do more often anyway. So really, you're paying for a season of starting from Kirk Cousins, hoping that he can stay healthy. And if not, you have a guy that you really do believe in now backing him up. And also, you have the guy, like the best possible guy in the league right now, to be a mentor to the guy who you believe in. So, like, say what you will about Kirk Cousins, it's obvious that he's like a pro's pro. So it's
he's
who
for
else
sure
would you
figured
want
out.
being your QB mentor?
He's for sure figured out how to pave himself a career and make it work for a prolonged period of time here. So,
And he's really smart with the contract stuff. I'll give him that too, because holy smokes, has he milked some sweet deals out of some teams?
he's probably calling Michael Penix Jr. up right now and be like, "Hey, fire your agent, hire mine.
Right?
Trust me."
Let me introduce you to. Get ready to learn Cole's cash, buddy.
So the Vikings
The
also got a
Vikings
6th round
pick
out
is
of the Jet
in.
too. So
Yeah, that's what I said. They gave up a 4 and a 5 and got a 6.
yeah, I remembered you saying the 4 and the 5. I completely missed the 6 part, but
That's cool.
my
see you.
brain's braining.
Oh, jeez.
So the pick is in on this screen, but then on the screen that I have sharing, it is not in. So that's cool. Love that.
Thanks, NFL Network.
You know why? I clicked off this screen, so I need to refresh this again. Love that. Didn't help. All right, never mind.
Guess I'll go fuck myself.
Yeah.
They don't know what a catch is. They can't figure out how to work a website. This is what we expect.
Sounds about right.
Doobie-doo-doo,
Aim for taps.
doobie-doo-doo-doo. That seems like a really bad name. You couldn't come up with anything better than that. Teams for taps. What does that even mean? Try harder.
I'm gonna fall into it because now you got me going.
This is fucking depressing as shit. Their family member wasn't even killed in combat. He got shot and hurt in combat and came back, and then they found cancer. Like, the dude survives getting blown up or shot or whatever. They're like, hey, I'm going to make it. Nope, wrong. You got fucking cancer. That fucking sucks.
God really did not want him to make it. All right. So the Vikings do get their quarterback, and it is J.J. McCarthy, but he is not the 4th quarterback taken. He is the 5th quarterback taken in this draft.
Is he a day one guy though? I don't think so. What are they going to do in the meantime?
Tell me a difference between him and Kirk Cousins.
He's younger.
Yeah, that's it.
Kirk Cousins has an
Good
agent
point.
that will milk the Vikings for money.
Tell me a true difference in their game.
Why do I need a difference? I know what I'm getting now with JJ McCarthy.
Here's a big difference in their game. Kirk Cousins actually throws the ball more than 10 times in a game.
Yeah, and haven't you come on this podcast and said, well, that's more on Harbaugh because he said, hand the ball off, we have Blake Corum.
Yeah.
But he
But
can't
here's the
actually
other
throw the
thing
ball.
is I don't give a shit. It's JJ McCarthy. I'm gonna slander him as much as I can. So I actually agree with that. This just popped up on the NFL Network, and I'm giving the credit to them. They threw up a pro comp with Alex Smith. I actually agree with that for JJ McCarthy.
Game
Maybe
manager. Which is fine.
maybe he's more athletic than Alex Smith. And I think Alex Smith was underrated as an athlete. But JJ McCarthy is still better than athlete than he was.
Well, and you want to talk about game manager. Okay, sure. But that game manager was the mentor to the best quarterback in the league right now.
Oh, I agree. I'm not trying to degrade. I am one of the few people that I hate the argument of, oh, well, he's just a game manager.
Right.
So he's doing his job.
Right.
Like, not every quarterback's going to go out there and be the guy that is the sole reason you win a game. But having a quarterback that will not be the reason you lose a game is equally as important.
I can't wait for JJ McCarthy to be the best quarterback in the NFC North. He's going to make me so happy.
All right, this really pissed me off. NFL Network just threw up a comparison of JJ McCarthy and CJ Stroud. Fuck off.
What? Well, I mean, look.
Was the comparison one as good the other is okay?
That's your fault for watching the NFL Network broadcast. And while I appreciate your boycott of all things ESPN, it's on you.
I can't believe they just did that.
I was like, I saw you just deep in frustration and thought, and I was like, well, maybe he'll say something profound here, but
Mel Kiper, nobody trusts your opinion anymore. We all know that you buy your analysis or sell your analysis out.
Sell your analysis. He sells your your analyses.
Yeah, he does.
You gotta piss clean. Just call Mel Kiper.
Only if it's draft season, okay?
Only during draft season. Okay, gotcha.
So you've now missed your shot. He's not selling it anymore.
I mean, I still got a day or so. He's gonna have a big board for the rest of the fucking weekend. Adjust the camera now, and I'm relaxing and leaning back here a little bit.
What do the Jets do? Let's move on. This is.
You don't want to talk about JJ McCarthy more?
The Jets are tough because I would say they need defense, probably on that defensive line a little bit more than anything else.
They need a whole team.
No, they've got wide receivers.
Name 2.
Garrett Wilson. That's all you need.
That's why I said 2. Right. Name 2. Doesn't matter. They're going offensive line.
There's Fashanu. I feel like they've gone offensive line a lot in the past.
That's my concern with this pick.
Here's the issue, though, is those guys have not worked out, and it's not because they're not talented. It's because, like, injury stuff. So you had Mekhi Becton in the first round, who just got hurt and never could play.
Mm-hmm.
You still need a left tackle. Like, I don't hate the idea of drafting offensive line high and just expecting it to work out. Yeah, but the fact that it hasn't for just like things you couldn't have scouted reasons is not a reason for me to throw away the scouting reports and not draft offensive linemen in the future.
But it's also just not Mekhi Becton. It's also Elijah Vera Tucker, who, again, injury prone.
Yes, and I would say the thing we've said with Elijah Vera Tucker since before he was drafted, he's probably better at guard in the next level anyway. So get yourself a tackle, put Vera Tucker at guard. Your offensive line got 2 positions better with this one draft pick.
Maybe, if this one works out.
Well, I think that it will. So, and I was not as confident about Mekhi Becton.
Known as Mr. What's Next in preschool, Olu Fashanu from Waldorf, Maryland.
That's a terrible nickname, and I feel bad for him.
I wonder if it was more of a like class thing. Like, hey, this kid's always wondering what we're gonna do next. What's next?
I wonder if it was somebody trying to spell his name, and they're like, "Oh, what's next? Some random ass letter."
And they were right. I mean,
yeah, like 14 more times, actually, some random letter.
And we're back to talking about JJ McCarthy. I don't feel like we went from the pick to the previous pick for anybody else yet. And I feel bad for Olu Fashanu. I wanted to hear more about his preschool escapades.
Yeah, they couldn't dig up a sob story about him, so they had to go back to JJ McCarthy and their slob fest for the cheaters up north. Fucking bullshit, ESPN. I can't believe you're watching that scum of a network.
I can't wait till it comes out with their punishment from the NCAA finally from that investigation, and they have to
Nothing will
vacate that
happen.
title.
Nothing will happen because they didn't pay their players, which, actually they can now through, different means. So, like, they don't care. They didn't commit the mortal sin of allowing young men to make money while playing college football.
Yeah. What a bad thing to do.
Lululemon knows what they're doing with their commercials. This is ridiculous.
I haven't seen one yet. Another reason
I haven't either. I haven't
I
either.
think-
So apparently it's just ABC.
It is just ABC.
ABC.
They know the men are watching, and they know that they like to look at their women's asses.
And I'm getting ads for the Bardstown Bourbon Company, so get wrecked.
On NFL Network?
Yeah,
What?
I'm getting bourbon ads, boy.
Bye.
You're getting yoga pants ads.
I am getting yoga pants ads. I just realized we never talked about my draft snacks since we're at another commercial break. I had
Oh, yeah.
chicken fries, which are, they're fantastic.
You get a little bit of chicken fries.
But then I also
We'll be on a
had
draft night.
stuffed nachos.
Ooh, good choice.
Deep fried stuffed nachos. They're so fucking good. If you've not seen them,
What are they stuffed with?
taco meat and cheese. So realistically, how do you stuff a nacho? Yeah, it's like, honestly, the best way to explain it is a
Taco with extra steps.
no,
Yeah,
it's
sounds
a
like it.
it's a Mexican pizza roll.
Taco with extra steps.
Well, it sounds like a
it's
burrito
not
with extra steps now.
Yeah, it's more like a chimichanga with extra. Well, it's more like a chimichanga. How do you stuff a nacho?
Basically,
I
is
just
just a
explained it.
small chimichanga.
Yeah, little bite-sized chimichangas.
I mean, I still want one, but
It sounds pretty good.
So a tiny fried burrito, maybe. I
Isn't-
prefer Mexican hot pot or Mexican pizza roll. Oh, Crazy Frog, are you getting a Brittany Griner ad? What? Are you getting an ad about the WNBA? You definitely are watching the ESPN broadcast.
I am not. I got Stanley Cup playoffs on my ESPN broadcast.
Well, because you live in a Dakota where hockey is king.
Fair.
I just
I don't even.
I need you to rename. I don't care what it is right now. Your beer league hockey team. The name of that team next year needs to be the Hey Ahoyas.
Hey, yeah, hey.
The South Dakota Hey Ahoyas.
Oh my god,
And that's how we got canceled on Twitch.
it's okay.
We'll find you on YouTube next.
Nah, YouTube's
We're
more
on
likely to
YouTube
cancel
right
us
now.
first. Yeah.
It's definitely Facebook that'll ban us first.
Fair.
We'll get cucked by the Zuck.
Where are these oversized Broncos hats coming from? Why are they bothering me so much?
Probably from where
Not
had
from
it?
New Era.
Vietnam.
Where's this one made? Hold on. I
like
know the Braves last year, like every team kind of does a home run thing. Some hats are made in Vietnam, some
All
are
right.
made in Bangladesh.
Philippines.
I gotta ask the question: what is the record for most quarterbacks in the first round
6.
6.
and counting? Okay.
It's happened twice.
Yeah. Well, and counting now.
Bojangles.
We're not going to get 7 though. I mean, who would be next?
Spencer Rattler. I mean, he is probably the next one.
I would not put it past the Raiders.
Yeah, it is the Raiders.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Who could possibly make more sense? Let's go Sam Hartman to the Raiders at 13.
The betting line was 4.5 for the first round, and so far we're at 6 quarterbacks. Yeah, I could see it being Sam Hartman as the next one off the board too. I don't know what Vegas is going to want to do
Better
though.
not be. Oh man.
And I will also say I think you had to hammer the over on that 4.5 for quarterback
yeah.
in the first round. You had to.
Yeah.
Bo Nix, very much in the same vein as Michael
As a
Penix
Brady
Jr.
White.
And Michael Penix Jr. and Jesus fucking Christ, you completely threw me off. Jaden Daniels. He's been playing for a while. How much do they really need to put into him to develop him more? But at the same time, if he was more developed, why is he going at 12? And why was he not
Right.
one of the top 2 or 3 taken?
And part of that I say is how deep this quarterback class is, or at least perceived to be. I mean, half the picks in the first round so far have been quarterbacks. It's absolutely
That's
wild. We haven't had a single defensive player go yet.
That I think might be the most wild thing of all this.
Actually, it's kind of that is not that weird considering what we expected. Just the question is, where do we see the first one go? My answer might be at this point number 17.
I could see 14. Seattle has a high chance of going defense. They like to draft defense. I know they got a new regime in there too, but
I'm looking at 2 straight offensive linemen here, maybe a receiver or a defensive player at 15.
We've talked about this with 14 here with the Saints, where they need to start replacing that aging defensive line.
I agree, but they were already weak at the offensive line, and then they had one of their guys just retire.
Yeah, but you've had some offensive linemen go. You have your pick of your defensive guys at 14. That changes the calculus behind it.
Sure, that's fair. I will grant you that.
Yeah, do I want what's
round.
left, or somebody else might draft somebody I want, or do I want to go after the guy that I know I like, and if he fell to me?
But the other consideration is we're not expecting those tackles to make it very far.
No, I agree.
Like, this is a stacked tackle class, but it's also, in a weird way, it's both stacked and top heavy.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying with that.
Like, there are a lot of first-round caliber guys, but they're all expected to go about the first round.
Okay, that's a new kind of Raiders pick.
Hold it in.
I'm holding it.
Relax.
It actually showed on my screen this time, not on my watch.
All right, Brock Bowers.
So whoever they do have at quarterback
Jimmy
will
G.
at least have a solid target. At tight end.
Yeah, it's Jimmy G, isn't it still?
No.
Aiden O'Connell.
It is, right now it's
It is Aiden O'Connell.
It's Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew.
Is Gardner Minshew in Vegas?
Yes.
Yes.
We got Minshew Mania in Vegas? Fuck yeah. Gardner Minshew and Brock Bowers are going to light it the fuck up.
That replaces who was it for them? The tight end they had a couple years back.
Darren Waller, who might be retiring from the Giants now because he got
probably.
divorced and he's in his feelings.
Aggressive. I mean, I feel that, but
It's the truth.
Good thing I don't have him on a fucking dynasty league. That would suck.
oh
yeah,
wait,
sure would.
Would fucking
Very glad
blow.
for you that you don't have that.
where's Bug going with his first round pick this year? Brock Bowers.
So, all right, here's the question. Who else do you have on the Raiders to throw it to?
Brock Bowers.
I don't know. The last guy that they drafted that could catch the balls in jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that seems like a problem to me. It is a very deep receiver class, though. I will give them that.
Yeah.
So if they
Yeah.
want to go receiver later, they got options. But also,
And
I mean, yeah, okay, they do have Devontae Adams. Hand up. I forgot he was in Las Vegas for a second.
well, pretty
will
easy when
admit to
nobody
that.
can get him the fucking ball.
Yeah, but then like, what else do you have? I feel like there's more. Should be more to an offense than just Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers.
Jacoby Myers.
Wow, that's
There should be more to an offense besides Brock Bowers
Devontae
and Devontae Adams.
Yep.
And they just gave away.
Why'd you list the special teams guy as if he's on offense? What are you talking about?
They just gave away the cornerstone to their run game too. So I'm curious. You got to figure they're gonna want to pick up a running back at some point. And
They still have Josh Jacobs.
No.
nope, he's with Green Bay.
What? Huh. The
Yeah,
more you know.
yeah. Saquon Barkley is also no longer in New York.
I did know that. I knew that.
Okay,
I don't know who he plays for now.
I couldn't tell you.
The Eagles, I think.
That sounds about
Yep,
right.
he
Might
does.
be.
Yep, that is right. He plays for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Everybody was fucking pissed, and that's how the Bears ended
Yeah.
up with Swift.
Yeah.
That's right.
You can tell we're not an NFL show, but we love college football, and the draft is a part of that. So,
The culminating
here for
event
it.
of college football.
yeah, basically. It's like seeing our kids grow up.
Here's the thing too is like the NFL. I remember growing up, like there probably would have been 2 or 3 running backs taken in the first round at this point.
Yep.
And now, to keep our streak going of half of the first round picks being quarterbacks, the Saints really need to step up and go quarterback here.
How long do you trust Derek Carr?
I am willing to take Michael Pratt. Take a shot. See what you can get out of him.
I think there's like no fucking shot that a running back goes in the first round, which is
Yeah.
also interesting when you see that Christian McCaffrey is still one of the most electric players in the league. And I do think there are more and more college running backs coming up that are that hybrid style where they're shifty, they can run the ball really well, but they're also really good running routes out of the backfield. I can't figure out why we're not seeing that kind of link up with
Money.
how people are drafting it. Well, I think that's part of it, but I think the other thing too is the way the NFL is now, if you don't have the guy at quarterback, you're basically fucked. And that's why we've seen is this a deep quarterback class? Yes. Should 6 of them have been drafted before we get halfway through the first fucking round?
On pure value, regardless of position, no.
And that's my point.
I know what you're saying, but also it is quarterback. Quarterback history different. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
I really wish Jordan Travis didn't get hurt because that might legitimately be our shot at 7 quarterbacks in the first round. But that injury was brutal.
I will say too, you're upset that the Vikings took JJ McCarthy because
I'm not upset.
you hate JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
upset that they took JJ McCarthy because
he's going to be better than Caleb Williams.
oh no, I already knew that was going to happen. Like don't get me wrong. I'm upset because every time I've logged into Madden and loaded up the draft class, because everybody thought for the past 3 years that Spencer Rattler was going to be coming out before this year anyway. And so loading up the draft class or whatever. Spencer Rattler pretty fucking consistently went to the Vikings. Now, did he play good enough at USC to end up going
Absolutely not.
fucking number 10 to the Vikings? No. But I was like, man, maybe they don't take a quarterback and they get him in the second round, and that'd be fucking dope. And be like, hey, look, it's actually realistic, but it's not. So
Yeah. That's some
Yes,
hardcore Madden hopium right there.
the Madden
hopium.
player-driven college rankings and prospect rankings are not accurate. Oh
Yeah,
no!
considering it was player-made draft
Yeah,
classes, nobody
what
should
I'm
be
saying.
surprised.
So the pick is finally in for the Saints. They took their sweet time doing so.
Which understandable. They're at 14, and the draft has not gone completely as expected.
And
Really, the only thing that truly surprises me is the Michael Penix pick. That's the only thing that really took me by surprise.
I don't know if that's the only thing that took me by surprise. But
everything else I can make sense of. The Michael Penix one, I have questions on.
I don't know. Kind of goes off the rails after that to some extent. I mean, J.C. Latham at 7 is wild to me too, and then 6 quarterbacks in the top 12, ridiculous. And Brock Bowers, the Raiders. I mean, what the shit?
I gotta say, having Nick Saban on for this draft in particular is fascinating, and I regret that I haven't had the sound on more during the draft. I've had it on mute by and large for a lot of this. But with Dallas Turner still being here, the Saints needing something like that, I mean, it would be beautiful to see happen. And getting to hear Nick Saban talk about a guy that he coached for 4 years, beautiful to see happen.
Just like to see him get taken, period, or for some reason to the Saints in particular?
He just came up in conversation and is talking about coaching him and blah, blah, blah.
Doug, you called it. Offensive line to the Saints.
I mean, they needed it very badly.
Fuanga. Did I do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, did I do it right?
Yeah.
Hey.
Elise Fuanga to the New Orleans Saints.
Where's the N? Fuaga?
Are you seriously asking that, or are you being...
There's no N in his name.
It's in the Samoan part of his name.
Yeah.
Talise Fuaga.
Okay. I'm just not.
He's making fun of me badly, but he's making fun of me.
What? I'm asking a legitimate question.
Are you for real, or are you making fun of Tug? Because I can't tell.
No, I'm being for real, especially considering 3 different people on the ABC broadcast said Fuaga.
Yeah, so it
to include the commissioner.
Yeah. Again, according to the man himself, he apparently kind of has gotten used to people calling him Fuaga and kind of doesn't care at this point. But the traditional pronunciation of his name is Fuanga, as is like the Polynesian, like those island traditions of there is that A before a consonant in the middle of a name. The AG is Ung. So Tagovailoa, Fuanga, it's the same kind of deal pronunciation wise. And even to the point where Oregon State themselves had him listed in their media guide as Fuaga, because he's just kind of accepted that that's what most Americans are going to call him. But he said traditional pronunciation, AG in the middle of a name is Ung.
All right, fair enough.
So I don't think you'll get any pushback from anybody other than me calling him Fuaga. I just, now that I know that, I want to call him Fuanga.
No, frankly, We should call him Fuanga if that's how his fucking name is said, but that's neither
Right.
here nor there. Oh man,
That's kind of where I'm at with it.
I'm kind of interested that they're doing the college game day dudes, college game day broadcast for the draft. I feel like maybe they're kind of stealing our idea. Just some college football guys talking about the draft. So this just came across from Sleeper.
Yup.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins was not given a heads up that the Atlanta Falcons would be taking Michael Penix Jr. So it doesn't sound like Cousins is very thrilled about being a mentor and finally being a bridge quarterback.
So here's the thing. This whole concept that the owners owe it to their players to tell them who they're taking, or the GMs, that probably needs to go away. Dude, you got in that room less than 3 months ago. Actually, just over a month and a half ago, if you want to break it down realistically. They owe you nothing except $100 million.
Yeah, but does he sign there if they say, "Hey, we're bringing you on to play this year and mentor the guy that we're going to draft"?
So why would you sign there if they were going to tell you that? And if he's not going to sign there, why would you tell him that?
If you're not, I mean, yeah, don't tell him. You don't have to, but for the sake of honesty, like, hey, this is our plan.
Nope.
Looking
Wouldn't
for
touch that.
honesty in business.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You ready? Here's my
I'm
honesty.
not saying
I'm willing to pay you at least $100 million over the next 4 years. That's the honesty you can expect.
He's probably going to get like 30 million. Let's be real.
No, that's $100 million guaranteed. He has to get that $100 million.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's a 4-year, $180 million deal, $100 million guaranteed.
Wow.
I know.
Or clearly now a bridge quarterback.
Well, that's why that pick is so surprising.
That's insane.
And that
I
probably
guess your thought there is Kirk Cousins makes you good enough. You're not going to be picking in the top 10 again for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So get yourself the guy while you have the chance to get the guy. Trying to rationalize it somehow. I don't know. We have still not had a defensive player selected in this class, and we are now on pick 15 coming in shortly.
Inching ever closer to halfway through this first round of the NFL draft here.
Oh, we're halfway there.
Whoa, another 4 more hours.
No, brother, it can't be 4 more hours. That'd be ridiculous.
And that's what you think.
IP theft is real. The
Okay.
emoji attached to that message is hilarious. I'm so what is going on in our chat?
Is chat lighting up?
It's just unhinged at this point.
I can't see chat, so hold on.
How can you?
I
What?
don't have the login. I'm here as a guest on this, so you can kick me out. And I can't add myself back in. And Ben is now having the temptation of a lifetime.
Oh, there's no temptation to it. We'll just. Oh, I could ban you from the studio too. That'd be fun.
God damn it.
The message from the sleeper. Oh, I got you. Dude, Sleeper throws some wild emojis onto all their messages when shit like this pops off for some reason. It's like their signature.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins dissatisfied with the Saints eggplant emoji.
Like this one really like yeah, he said he was vegetarian.
Eggplant peach.
Eggplant peach, water splash.
Water droplets. Philip Rivers unsatisfied. Eggplant peach water droplets.
School bus. Have we gotten canceled yet?
We have got our first defensive player. It is on my screen. Do you guys want to know who it is?
No, stop it. another Georgia player selected in this class, and then it's got like sports cars.
Not who I
Latu.
not who I expect to be the first defensive player off the board.
Latu is the first defensive player in this class to the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I will say that we have been saying for a couple months, Latu is the best pass rusher in this class. And based on the last 2 years of watching him play at UCLA, he is the best pass rusher in this class. The problem with him has been he had a neck injury at Oregon that caused him to be required to medically retire from the game of football. Transferred to UCLA, they cleared him, and he's been phenomenal.
Magically.
But if the NFL finds any potential for anything in the future wrong with that neck ever again, they're not going to take you. They're not going to touch you with a 10-foot pole. So this says to me, the Colts came back and said, we see absolutely nothing wrong with him. And yes, he is the best edge rusher in this class. So I love that for him, and he's definitely earned it.
This is going to be a
somewhat
nasty.
surprised.
This is going to be a nasty pass rush from the Colts, though. When you break it down, you got Latu, who's probably going to be rushing off the right side now, the left side of the defensive line, right side of the offensive line, and you got Kwity Paye, who's going to be coming off the. Work with me here. He's a Rhode Island boy, okay? I don't have many of those in the NFL.
So you knew him?
No.
Yeah, you went to high school with him.
Nope.
He lived down the
did
street from you.
absolutely in high school. He did absolutely shit on my high school, though.
He stuffed you into a locker, and you were like, "Yes, Daddy, more."
You had 2 high schools in Rhode Island?
We have more than that. Just wait till you get there.
Are they like right next to each other?
Yeah, it's
Some
like
of them
the
is-
Dunkin' Donuts in Rhode Island. There's one on every corner.
Do you just get to pick which
High
one you go
schools
to that
and Dunkins.
on depending on what day of the week it is? You go
Every street corner has one house, one Dunkin' Donuts, one high school, and one church. And that's Rhode Island.
You're saying this as a joke, but that's kind of how it feels sometimes.
And then, for some reason, randomly in the middle there's a good 15-minute drive of beautiful countryside. And then you get back to four corners of Dunkin'
we call that
Donuts high schools.
Coventry.
Yes, it does have to be a Catholic church. There are no Protestant churches in Rhode Island or Baptist churches. Nothing.
Right next to the Catholic church
Nothing.
is the Catholic school it sponsors.
Well, right.
and then the liquor stores in the parking lot.
No, you go to New Hampshire for liquor. No taxes there.
And fireworks.
And fireworks. No, you take I-95 up and you go just north of Massachusetts, and within the first mile, it's a quick on-off exit that is a liquor store right next to a fireworks store.
That man, they knew what they were fucking doing.
Hmm.
Tell you what.
Because there's no sales tax in New Hampshire. There's no liquor tax in New Hampshire, and fireworks are entirely illegal all the way up to like M80 mortars. Like, just send it.
Fuck yes.
And this is where I like to remind you guys you'll be out there for the 4th of July. Budget appropriately.
It's like I can shoot them on base.
We don't need to. We have the beaches in Rhode Island. The whole 1 mile stretch.
Beautiful, the scenic beaches of Rhode Island. You mean that one guy's backyard?
It's connected to the Tennis Hall of Fame.
It's connected to the one state park that you have, which is actually just a fountain. A bubbler, sorry.
Hold on, I'm doing math here. I think we have 2.
Oh, shit.
Do they back up to
serious?
each other and there's just like a fence line that divides them? Like Pearl Harbor Hickam, where it's technically 2 bases, but it's on the same plot of land?
We have 13 state parks, apparently.
No, the
Damn.
fuck you do not.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
You have 13 square feet of state parks.
No. Hold on, I'm pulling this up for you guys.
The Northeast are the only states willing to drive to another state for something because it's only 10 minutes, not hours. So
There you go.
where I grew up is like a 45-minute drive to Kentucky or a 45-minute drive to Missouri. So like, just kind of depends where you live. Now, if you live in the middle of Kansas and there's just nothing around for miles and hours and days, I get it. You got to make do with what you got. But, you know, the Northeast, certain parts of Illinois, it's kind of close.
See, I'm like in Louisville is right across the river from Indiana. Part of my job is in Indiana. So I go to a different state a lot, actually. And Cincinnati's not that far away.
I was about to say, you can get you some Skyline chili.
I don't like Skyline chili, but there's a couple of burger places in Cincinnati that are really great.
You can go to a bar that I hear is pretty wild.
And the aquarium is practically Cincinnati, so
I've seen some I've seen Skyline chili in cans. When I can't decide if it's worth trying or not.
I wouldn't. Just don't. It's a very acquired taste, and people who love it say that too. So if you didn't grow up with it, you probably will not like it. It is a very specific kind of chili. It tastes different, man. It is hard to describe. It's got like nutmeg and it's crazy. It's crazy flavor.
I feel like I need to
the way
try
they
it
put it
then.
on everything. Like,
Well, yeah, they put it on spaghetti noodles, right?
they put it on spaghetti and they put it on hot dogs and they put it on. You can just get a bowl of it too. Actually, at Skyline, and there is a debate where some people like Gold Star better.
This is news.
I don't actually know anyone personally who likes Gold Star better, but I've heard those people exist. Skyline's the one who made it out of Cincinnati, though.
Right.
For a reason. I think Skyline's better, but I still think it's ass. That's like comparing White Castle to Crystal. Like, yeah, Crystal's better, but it's not like it's good.
Hold on. I'm going to stop you right there. Did you just say Crystal is better than White Castle?
Yes.
No, the fuck it's not.
I don't even know what
So
Crystal
this is the kind of heat that you'll get in the Skyline versus Gold Star debate. But they're both kind of ass. Let's be real with each other.
The only thing Crystal has over White Castle is that I can go to Crystal, and I think it's the number 5. And it's 5 cheese sliders and chili cheese fries. I don't have anything like that at White Castle. That's the only thing they got.
I actually don't mind White Castle's chicken. Like the chicken rings and stuff are actually kind of decent.
I
sometimes.
thought about making I bought some frozen spicy chicken rings. I thought about making some of them tonight for my draft snacks.
But as far as sliders go, I'm picking Crystal over White Castle every time.
Would greatly appreciate if the pick was not in for 5 minutes at this point.
Well, we have to have more commercials. We spent all of the commercial time talking about JJ McCarthy earlier.
Yeah.
That is very true. Air quality going down, White Castle or Crystal. Guaranteed.
Is White Castle the Chick-fil-A of the slider world?
See, I usually have a good experience with Chick-fil-A. So I actually don't agree with that. Although, yeah, for some reason, White Castle is weirdly overrated.
It's all because of
Because
Harold
not
and
weird,
Kumar.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's Harold and Kumar. That's why it's overrated.
Okay. Still overrated.
No, You're wrong.
All right, let's say it this way. It is very polarizing. Like, it's both overrated and overhated at the same time.
That's fair. That was the best marketing campaign ever, if you think about it. Oh, 100%.
I don't know. I actually
the
don't agree with
destination.
that. That was not the best marketing campaign of all time. Because, you want to know why? Because freecreditreport.com song is still stuck on my head. I haven't seen one of those commercials in 15 years.
I don't like this pick for personal reasons. I love the fit. I love everything about this pick. I'm mad.
Yeah, because you wanted Byron Murphy the second.
Yeah,
on
I
your
was.
Dolphins.
And he had been, Jesus Christ. Sorry.
He had not been Jesus Christ. He had been Byron Murphy the second.
He had been falling,
What?
and I was excited. That Jesus Christ it hasn't populated here yet. There has been a trade. You will never guess the team that is involved other than Jacksonville.
Just don't say anything.
What
'cause
is
I
that
legitimately
chain
haven't seen
on his
anything yet.
fucking neck?
That is something. Wow.
That
What
is that a Batman head? I can't figure out what the fuck it is.
I think it's just a skull.
That's just insane to me. Wow. Okay. So what the fuck
Don't
does
say anything
Minnesota
yet.
want now?
Damn it. All right.
It popped up as I was saying it.
Okay.
Okay. In fairness, I assume I'm at the end, so I apologize. I'll also throw out here. After pick 20, I'm out of here anyway. So
NFL Network's still talking about Byron Murphy, so I didn't know. But then
That's
it
fair.
popped up on
That's fair.
our screen. I've never had an In-N-Out, Crazy Frog. I don't know. I can't answer that. But I will say I hear about it so much that it has to be at this point the most overrated because everybody talks about it.
It absolutely is.
If you like lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle on your burger, go to In-N-Out because it's all fresh.
That's all you can taste.
Well, it's all fresh. It's all fresh veggies as well. Fantastic. If you want any type of actual variation on your burger, literally go anywhere else.
Well, and don't forget the Thousand Island dressing.
Like Whataburger. No, you have to ask for that. That's not standard.
Even still, that's kind of the whole thing for what they're known for is their
Animal style.
whatever they call it, the wild sauce or whatever.
Animal style. The
Yeah.
pick is in for Minnesota. Who do we think they went and got here in this trade? And more importantly, what did they trade?
Well, they definitely traded number 23.
Yep.
They also traded a 5th-round pick this year and a 3rd and 4th-round pick next year.
Tell me the Vikings
get-
didn't want to draft in the 5th round today without telling me, or this year, without telling me the Vikings didn't want to draft in the 5th round this year.
That was very convoluted and hard to listen to. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Vikings got number 17 and nothing else. So the Jaguars got 4 picks for this one pick.
I'd take that too.
Valid trade.
Dallas Turner.
That's 100%.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I understand why they would feel the need to trade up there too, because you had Latu and Murphy go. Like if your favorite defensive player is still on the board,
Go get him.
shit, why not?
Especially one that in other drafts have top 10 talent. I'm a little thankful for that as just an AFC fan here because if he fell to Pittsburgh, that's a Pittsburgh style move to pick up Dallas Turner to play opposite TJ Watt, and that would be absolutely scary.
I have heard that the Steelers are all in on Graham Barton. We'll see if that's true or not. I'm wearing the Ducat for a reason.
And once you realize that they lost Danielle Hunter, you needed somebody to come in and replace what you lost there, and Dallas Turner 100% does that.
Oh, 100%. I love this fit for Minnesota. They had a need at edge. They have somebody to now set that edge for them, and and get moving.
That's-
Bengals on the clock.
I think underrated
ahead.
something we didn't explicitly say. The fact that Minnesota has traded up twice this round is insane.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's
true.
weird. Usually they trade back.
Mm-hmm.
But
Some
that's
tendency
also-
breakers here.
But that's usually because they're in that 17, 18, 19 range, and they're like, yeah, whatever.
I would love to
All right,
see
so-
the return to offensive tackle here.
I was going to say, where do we think the Bengals are going? Because I know a lot of people were projecting Brock Bowers to the Bengals. That's not going to happen now for obvious reasons.
Well, they also have two players who have requested a trade in T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson. So, do they try to replace T. Higgins or Trey Hendrickson?
It's a good question.
Who we got on the
I
board for it?
would go ahead and take a tackle. But
I think it's
Bengals
finally
have-
time for them to do that. We
Bengals
dogged them
have
for not doing it in
been
the
trying
past.
so hard not to.
Mhm. We dogged them for not doing it in the past, and it's been relatively successful for them, honestly. Right? They need that, I think, to take. It's weird to say they need to take the next step, but
I mean, they do. They need to protect Joe Burrow. He's your big
Did
time
you almost
investment.
forget his name?
Yeah, a little bit. For some reason, I kept going to Josh, and I was like, that's not it.
Yeah, Josh Allen down in Cincinnati.
You good there, Bug?
I've still got something in my eye. But I started laughing. I didn't want to poke my fucking eye out while I was doing that.
The Bengals pick is in.
But we get to go to a commercial, so hopefully we'll have 2 picks in by the time we get back, since it's going to take for fucking ever to get back from this commercial.
Yeah, I'm seeing the commercial for this same movie again. I don't know what movie it even is. It's not a great commercial or trailer.
Speaking
The
of
Fall
movies-
Guy.
Did you guys know that they were making a new Transformers movie?
No.
Yeah, so it's going to be an
did know
animated movie, and it's going to be the origins of the Transformers, specifically the origins of the Autobots and the Decepticons, and it looks fucking awesome.
Isn't it called like Transformers 1?
Transformers 1. Yep,
That's not a confusing title at all.
I know. That's what I was like. Are they remaking the movie? And then I saw it was animated. I was like, well, maybe. And then clearly
Yeah.
that was not what they were doing. I was like, oh. It actually looks pretty cool. I'm kind of excited. I'm seeing a meaty, beefy steak commercial for Hy-Vee again.
Oh, the graphics came back. We should be getting close.
Boo-doo-doo-boo-doo-boo-doo.
I've seen this little baby commercial where they're playing pickleball for E-Trade, and I've seen it like 1,000,001 fucking times.
Do you think owners and GMs
Pickleball? Yes.
No.
Everybody hates pickleball.
hates how the draft has become as much as we do? Because like, talk about a meeting that could have been an email, but like 4
GMs,
hours long.
GMs, I'm sure they do hate it. Owners absolutely do not hate it.
No, absolutely. Fair.
So it is what it is. What needs to happen though is this needs to be on Friday night, and then day 2 needs to be Saturday, and day 3 on Sunday.
Yeah, but you don't get as many viewers at primetime on Friday night.
You would for the NFL draft.
Yeah, you absolutely would. It's the NFL draft.
People schedule things though.
Like
Oh.
NFL draft watch parties. Crazy.
Like
Exactly.
you would ruin relationships because she would want a date on the Friday and
Well,
Cool.
her
She can
date-
wait until next Friday.
Right. Date night's going to be watching the NFL draft.
yeah, you're
If he
you're
does.
welcome to watch with me.
Right.
Why are we talking about Caitlin Clark? Why?
I got
Because
high
you're
V ads
on-
again.
ESPN. I'm watching.
Maybe that's
Toro.
why Crazy Frog. Maybe that's why I didn't get the 60 Minutes ad about Brittany Griner because I got the high V ad instead. God bless High V.
Oh,
Not just Hyvee with his own hands.
If you buy 8 gallons of gas at Phillips 66, you can get 2 for 1 Cardinals tickets.
Dang, that's pretty good.
That's how bad the St. Louis Cardinals are this year. No idea.
I saw
living his best life.
I saw a tweet today. It was like, it's really a shame how the St. Louis got this reputation as a great baseball city, but then the one season you're under 500, it looks like every other fan base.
Dude, that's what like. I don't want to turn this into a baseball podcast, but that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, because I'd never really seen them be bad in my lifetime, unfortunately. I was like, I swear, once you guys fucking suck, it's going to be just like everyone. No, we always sell. I was like, no, there's literally one team in the league that always sells out through the summer, and win, lose, or draw. And it's not the fucking Cardinals. Because I've been to fucking games in St. Louis that have been fucking empty as shit in the middle of the summer when they were good. And you know what team sucked ass and was still selling out in the middle of the fucking summer?
Cubbies.
Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, mostly because everybody wanted to go get drunk at the bars and shit around Wrigley Field. But that's neither here nor there. People still went to the games, bought the tickets.
Problem solved. If you want to have sellout crowds, put bars around your ball field. I didn't think that was that hard of a concept, but
Well, and that's what St. Louis went and did and copied it anyway. Back to the draft. The Bengals pick is in.
Hey, that's perfect. That is perfect. Exactly what they needed. Get a right tackle in there finally.
This
It's
is again, we were kind of saying it before, the commercial break, and we just started free balling for a little bit. It's weird to say that it feels like a tackle could elevate this team to the next level.
I
And
don't feel like that's weird at all.
I just don't. When's the last time we've ever actually seen that?
We haven't, because tackle is traditionally the anchor point around which you build the franchise in the first place. So it's not usually something you add later and hope to find. This is a piece you have to find in order to become eligible to be good in the first place, usually. So the Bengals speed ran their rebuild by happening upon the number 1 overall pick when it happened to be Joe Burrow, who happened to become really good almost out of nowhere.
Who then got hurt, and they still ended up with another high pick.
Right. So they speed ran this wild and crazy roller coaster of, oh my gosh, we have a couple of phenomenal players now. We weren't ready for this. And the offensive line got left behind. So they are in a position now, unlike almost every other team who's ever been in this scenario, where you still need an offensive line in order to legitimately be good. And this is something they've been neglecting for 3-4 years now. So glad they got themselves Amarius Mims, almost
It's a
6'8", 340.
Fantastic right tackle coming into the league.
Yeah.
What we were talking about earlier, he is ready day one, consistent with what he puts on the field. This is what you're looking for in a right tackle. And from what we've been talking about, it's almost a steal at the 18th overall pick.
Well, the reason he's available at 18 and didn't go earlier is because even though he has been consistent, he's only done it for 8 games. As crazy as that sounds. He's only started 8 games at Georgia. and he went to number 18 overall. He is that good.
Yep.
So he's not, as I said in the last video, last mock draft, he's not raw. He's just, doesn't have as many starts as some folks do. He is legitimately, technically sound in his process, and he's massive, and exactly what you're looking for in a right tackle.
Crazy
But that 8
Frog,
starts
what?
is good.
Crazy Frog, what video are you talking about?
Who knows? So how many offensive linemen is that so far? 2, 3, 4, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. We have a ways to go if we want to break the record.
I don't know that we break the quarterback record. I think we're out of that.
I'm
range.
not talking quarterback record. I'm talking offensive line record.
I'm talking quarterback record.
I'm talking offensive line record.
You get a high chance of 2 more coming up here between the Steelers and Dolphins as well.
Maybe the Rams.
Well,
The Rams haven't had a first-round pick since like 1947. So we'll see what they believe first-round picks are good for here. It'll be interesting.
Their last first-round pick was Jalen Ramsey, wasn't it?
Their last first-round pick was Brock Vandegrift in 1862. He went on to become a Union general in the Spanish-American War. Never actually played for the Rams.
I think their last first-round pick was Jared Goff. I'm not even kidding.
Brock Vandegrift was actually a quarterback at Kentucky.
Yeah, it was actually Jared
You are
Goff.
correct. Yeah, it was Jared Goff in 2016.
I said that, and then Crazy Frog sent that message through. That Jerry Jones video, I'm not convinced isn't the president in disguise. I'm just going to say it. It's pretty fucking bad. We're the 24th best team in the league, so we're picking 24th. Like, no, Jerry, that's not how that works.
Huh.
It's okay. Take him away from the teleprompter and put him to sleep.
Hey, Jerry, didn't you have an Arkansas fundraiser to attend? Step away from the draft, please.
Could we see? I mean, edge rusher, sure, but are we convinced that that's where the fucking Rams are going?
Not with
No.
the edge rushers here. I still think they're due for. You what?
Could be Jared Verse.
Could be.
Could be
Cooper
Johnny
DeJean.
Newton.
We still have all the cornerbacks on the board too, actually.
Yes, we do. And they could use a corner. They could also use offensive line. They could also use running back. Maybe Spencer Rattler. Maybe.
I was going to say, if there's going to be another quarterback taken, I do think the next 2 picks are the last chances for that to happen.
It won't be the Steelers.
Probably not.
Is in fact Jared Verse.
Hey! Too bad I'm only good at mock drafts 30 seconds before they're announced. If I were this good at them at regular time, I could make money.
In fairness, you probably could prop bet these somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe.
All right, so we're projecting Graham Barton to the Steelers here.
That's what I've heard. I still feel weird about that, honestly. Doesn't seem to me like a Steelers pick, honestly. Outside of offensive line, though, what are you going to do here? Like, is there a receiver here that you want to take if you're the Steelers? Probably
Brian
not.
Thomas, Xavier Worthy.
neither of them fit what I'm looking for from the Steelers.
Oh, they need something in that receiving core. They don't really. They have Deontay Johnson that's serviceable.
Is he?
Yes. If he
Yeah.
learns how to catch, he is significantly more serviceable.
You know what would be a wild pull? This is not going to happen, but would be incredible if this was Michael Hall.
Ooh. Oh. Bugs out.
If I call Mike Hall to the Steelers at 20, I'm going to be downloading a gambling app. You're
I was just gonna say.
To some level, I still think it has to be offensive line. I mean, even if it's not Barton.
I mean, I get you. Man, the Steelers are always one of the tough ones because they generally have a lot of pieces. They're just missing a few. And the issue with them I have right now is I don't see what they need on the board still. That piece that we're talking about, other than like what you're saying, offensive line.
She came to tell me how excited she was to finish the Princess Peach demo.
Nice. Did you get her the full game?
No, not yet.
Oh.
Tyler Guyton, Troy Fautanu, Graham Barton, Jack Spowers-Johnson.
I tell you what, this is a win-win for Miami right now if you're looking for that interior offensive line, because now you get your choice of, or the leftovers between Graham Barton or Troy Fautanu, which would both be good fits.
Watch it be like Edgerrin Cooper.
There's still a good chance it's Johnny Newton.
The pick is in, ladies and gentlemen.
There's a really good chance it's a corner. We haven't had a single corner go off the board yet.
I was saying for Miami.
I'm saying for the Steelers.
What if Miami took Cooper DeJean?
It would make sense.
No. Miami's going to go Torrey Taylor in the first round.
No, you've already predicted it. Xavier Worthy. Speed.
I mean,
There's just... God damn it. Why did I forget his name?
I have no clue who you're remotely talking
Miami's
about.
coach.
wow. That's a bad one to forget
Yep.
for you.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not helping you either. I know who you're talking about now, and I'm not helping you.
Caleb Williams. So Bleacher Report
There you
sends
go.
me an update from saying Bears fans won't want to see this Caleb Williams tweet going viral. It's from March 8th, 2022. Okay, I guess I'm still a Packer fan. Like, okay, that's I fucking hate people so much. I swear to God.
So yeah, Xavier Worthy falling, and not really falling, but going kind of where he is right now. You just got Mike McDaniel there going, "I am speed."
That's what I was
That was
trying
a
to
lot
say.
of build-up for a very mediocre joke.
Well, yeah, you guys got the joke and me forgetting Mike McDaniel's name.
That was the
I
better joke.
also want to throw out here, Tug. And once I realized we weren't live when we're having this conversation earlier, I didn't feel like bringing it up, but we're on a commercial. I'm only going to stick around for this next pick, and then I want to see your reaction to the Dolphins picks. I'll stick around for that too.
Nice.
You said, Caleb Williams really wants him to take Fashanu.
Yes.
I think that's what you're saying. I have no clue where you saw that, because all I saw over the past day and a half was he was really impressed by the size of Rome Odunze and really wanted to play the opportunity to play with Rome Odunze. So no clue where you saw that about. Yeah,
I don't
no clue.
So
no
that
clue where you
came
saw
across
the Fashanu thing.
that came across on ESPN. That was on the pre-draft coverage.
Okay, so it sounds like we don't trust ESPN because I don't get push notifications from ESPN. I get them from Bleacher Report for a reason.
I'm just telling you what the stream said. But also, I don't know if I even want to go there. He's impressed with the size and wants to play with him.
Yep. Yep. That's where
The
my head's been at
quarterback
this
and
whole
wide
time.
receiver, the quarterback and wide receiver core in Chicago is going to be very close, apparently.
I mean, you want to make
Caleb
it
Williams
wrong and
sitting there with
sexual,
his,
go for it.
painted nails and lipstick on, going, "Oh my gosh, this receiver is so big! I can't wait to play with him."
Yep.
That is something. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers are. Again, would not at all be surprised if this does end up being a corner because we've not had a single corner go off the board yet. Who that would be, I don't know, because it seems like the NFL doesn't agree with everybody else that the corners are valuable this year.
Here's the thing that's irritating to me, right? You've got these awesome CGI animations they're putting up with the engine in the background, the stick is in on top of it. Why is that nowhere on the fucking draft page? Why is that nowhere on the screens there? Simple little things they can do for the ball crowd.
I wish I had an answer for you. Other than
Yeah. But it makes sense, so you don't. Because if it makes sense, they're just not going to do it.
well, Doug, are you getting that same graphic with the engine or no on NFL Network?
I can't imagine he would be.
Yeah, so there's your logical answer. As much as I agree with you and don't like it, it's an ABC graphic because I'm getting it. You're getting it on ABC, but nobody else is getting it. So the NFL doesn't own it, so the NFL can't use it.
My point is, the engine is quintessential Detroit.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
And it should have just been part of the draft logo this year to begin with.
The draft
Well, it's the
logo
Steelers
only
pick. We
changes
got
in year.
Cam Hayward.
Which is also a problem. Yes, NFL or Walter Payton Man of the Year Cam Hayward is out here presenting the pick.
The
So it's gonna
Ohio
take-
State University legend.
It's gonna take even longer for the pick to get out because he's got to talk about all the amazing things he did to win Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Contractually obligated, probably.
Which is fine. I'm not opposed to it. It's just is going to take long. And stating as a fact, it's going to take longer.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You wanted it to go fast? What? All right. I think the talk of Graham Barton going to the Steelers was with the thought that Troy Fautanu would not be available.
Because he probably should not have been available.
But now that he is available, Troy Fautanu to the Pittsburgh Steelers does make a lot of sense.
Positional versatility is what you were saying earlier. I agree with it. He can play inside the line. He can play outside the line. That's huge.
Yeah, so the combine measures your arm length, right? Obviously, there is a theoretical minimum arm length for an NFL tackle that he was a 1/4 inch shy of.
Okay.
Played high school volleyball too.
It is theoretically possible that he sticks at tackle in the NFL, and it would probably work just fine. A la Rashawn Slater so far with the Chargers, who had slightly smaller than that theoretical minimum arm length for an NFL tackle, and has stuck at tackle and done very well. But also, Fautanu is probably the best guard you could possibly hope to find in this draft class. So why not play him at guard if you have an opening there, which the Steelers do. Honestly, they have an opening at both guard spots, which is kind of why you were thinking Graham Barton, because they can throw Graham Barton anywhere on the offensive line and have success. Well, Fautanu, you can throw him in like 4 places and have success. So not center, but you still have the flexibility in most positions. And he's better than Graham Barton. So
if I'm the Dolphins here. I think I'm leaning towards Graham Barton. You've got Jackson Powers Johnson, who's still on the board. Another good pick when you need a center as well. That's more of your center pick rather than the guard. Johnny Newton
Grant
is
Barton's probably more of a center than a guard too.
even better. So I've got my choice. And then you've also got Johnny Newton on the board, whose name has routinely been linked to Miami. And again, I think that was based on assuming those other guys were not there, and they are.
Yeah.
So Miami's got 3 ways to go here that I think I'd be happy with. As much as Xavier Worthy would be fun, having a 3-wide pattern of Xavier Worthy, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill, that would just be fun. I'm not thinking we need to go that way right now.
More commercials.
At least the pick is in.
Yeah, but we got one pick and then time for more commercials.
Well, yeah, because they're running out of things to talk about these guys later in the draft.
Yeah, but they could go ahead and announce the next pick.
Nah.
Nah.
I agree. Nah, it's good. Okay. So you want interior offensive lineman.
That's what I'm thinking going into this with the options there. Edge is always good. We definitely need that option too. That's really where I'm looking here, especially with, as we were talking about last week, Jalen Phillips and not Jalen. Yeah, Jalen Phillips. Okay, I know what I mixed up there. Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb being out for a while, so we need somebody at least to hold that gap, and we need defensive line as well because we just lost Christian Wilkins. For some reason there, I just mixed up Jalen Phillips and went back, no, that's not his name, and thought back to Jordan Phillips, but he's definitely not that bad. But yeah.
If I'm the Eagles, I'm very excited that every corner is still available.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
I saw
the litter here, aren't they?
I saw the pick. I won't give anything away other than Doug. I think you're gonna like it.
How fucking long? How far ahead behind? Like, what the fuck? How am I
Twitter.
this far behind?
Dude, stop looking at Twitter.
Stay off
Dude,
fucking Twitter.
Dude, I'm on Twitter and the Miami Dolphins stuff's going nuts.
We had
okay?
to convince you to get a Twitter.
Yeah. And now the notifications are on. And I'm stuck.
Why do you have why?
You don't have to look at them.
I kind of do it twitch up and it vibrates and I look down.
There's not a single person that I follow that is worth having notifications on from Twitter.
Right.
Nothing. The only notifications I have on is if I'm mentioned or somebody messages me. That's it.
Right.
Or the page for that matter.
Look, I like this better than waiting with the pick is in watching commercials for 10 minutes.
I don't, because it doesn't let us have your actual live reaction to things, which was the point of doing this live.
We get his live reaction, and then us being frustrated that he's getting to have a live reaction 10 minutes before we do.
I mean...
Yeah.
Oh, Blitz is back outside.
So, you said I was going to like it. Is it Graham Barton?
No.
Is
It
it
is...
Jack Johnson?
Nope.
Is it Xavier Worthy?
No.
That'd be funny. I'm done guessing. That was it. I'm waiting.
It is a position I thought is not a...
Dude, stop. Don't. I don't want it. I don't want it. This is taking so long. Oh my gosh.
Holy fucking shit.
Okay. Eli Apple is not a key
The
departure.
Dallas Cowboys have got to be on the fucking clock by this point.
I know.
This is idiotic.
Let's go.
Why? Well, that... Okay. My feed
Why,
disappeared and then
why?
came back.
All right, I'm gonna guess again. So give me a second here to figure out who I want to guess.
Well, Commissioner's walking up. You have like 2 seconds.
Never
Never
I
mind.
just saw it. So
Yeah.
that is a position that you had mentioned.
Yep. Not
It's
a player
the
I was thinking to
position
go in the
that
first
I
round.
mentioned. I expected Chop Robinson to end up in the first round, but I expected him to go a little bit later. I was thinking he was a very real possibility for the Bucks at 26. But Chop Robinson to Miami. Now, you are drafting athletic upside.
Yep.
With Chop Robinson. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. Some of the best edge rushers in the league have been drafted on athletic upside and then coached into having great pass rush moves.
Where are his measurables at? Is he flexible to the inside of the line too, or is he pure pass rusher outside?
I mean, he's not heavy enough to be inside at all.
So
He's
Jerome,
6'3" and skinny.
so you're talking kind of that pure pass rush, if not outside linebacker, if you're gonna flex him into a different position.
Yeah, I would say he's usually in most schemes you're going to want to have him be a stand-up edge rusher.
On that note, gentlemen, it's been fun. I wish I could stay longer,
Me too, man.
but
Call off work, dude.
I wish I really wish I
You-
could. But
Hey, you sound a little sick.
yeah, I can't. We don't have enough.
Sick of
people.
their bullshit.
Maybe a little bit. Y'all have fun. Doug, I'm glad you guys got a guy that you wanted, question mark.
It's a position of need. That's really what I'm looking for there.
Yeah.
You're filling
Yeah.
positions that we need. You're matching the speed prototype too, if just different side of the ball than we were expecting.
Yeah.
And hey, actually, I would say edge rusher with Chubb and Phillips being banged up at different points. Defense was your issue, especially at edge rusher last season, and probably the main reason that you didn't go as far as it looked like your offense was capable of going.
Yep, I would agree.
Even though I think your offensive line could use some improvement, I think that edge rusher spot was the main. Well, that was the right move, I think.
Yeah, no, and that's been an issue for Miami for a while. Is actually the pass rush itself. It's always good when you have your sack leader coming from in the middle of the defensive line, being Christian Wilkins has been up there for us, but that's also a problem.
Probably more than one. That's
He had
all
more
I
than one
have.
sack.
That's
That is
impressive.
Crazy.
But hey, I will see y'all later. I'm so glad we got. It feels like it's been forever since we made a sack joke. Y'all have a good night.
He had 9 of them last year.
I'm not sure when we're getting back to it.
That's
Not sure
3
when we're getting
times
back
the
to
three of us combined.
That's insane. That's our amount squared.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys.
See it. I guess Bradley Chubb did lead us in sacks last year. He had 11 total.
You have to think this is a corner for the Eagles and for the Jaguars.
Yeah, especially when you got all of your corners available.
Like, I would not at all be surprised if this is back-to-back Arnold and Mitchell, or Mitchell and Arnold. Either order. Both are great.
Yeah, no.
Or
100%.
one of those two, and then Cooper DeJean at 23.
Yep.
Could make sense, too. And then the other one probably goes to...
With those all on the board, it wouldn't surprise me if the Cowboys go corner. So you go corner, corner, corner.
Maybe the Packers, too. I doubt that, but maybe.
Hey, get them all off the board right away. All of them down to the 7th round. Mr. Irrelevant level pick here. Air Force corner, whoever it is this year, because we, for some reason, always have one.
Yeah, it's a safety this year.
Ah,
He actually won the Jim Thorpe Award.
That's right. Which
Somehow.
kind of surprises me. Yeah.
Shouldn't have, honestly.
Come on. Just tell us the pick. Dang it. But all right, you're the Eagles. Which corner do you want? Because you do have your pick of the litter here.
I would bet on the upside of Quinyon Mitchell.
Okay. Does that fit? So, like I said, they got the pick of the litter, so they're picking something that fits their need, right? And these all of these cornerbacks have different styles.
Okay, so I'm not the NFL expert. Tell me what style you think the Eagles need.
I don't know. I didn't even know they needed a cornerback. I feel like they always address whatever they need in
Okay.
free agency and then just draft extra stuff.
I mean, that's kind of true, but I just feel like their cornerback room is aging so rapidly.
Or this could be Graham Barton. That'd be really fun to replace Jason Kelsey. Although, didn't they draft a center last year?
Not last year. It was a couple years ago. Landon Dickerson from Alabama, who has been a great left guard. So kind of why move him off of that?
Then yeah, I'd be really interested to see him go center here. I am with you. I do want corners to start coming off the board, but
If it's not here, you have to think Jacksonville takes a corner. That's like their biggest
Yep.
need. And with all of them available at 23, I mean, come on. You even traded back and still got your pick of the corners in this scenario.
right. Talk about feeling the draft room and how the draft is going if that happens.
Right? Philadelphia Eagles select a player, which is
No, he's talking about some new Australia high school football academy.
who cares? This is not the time or the place, Mr. Goodell. Here you go.
You slick. You called it. Where's it? Where's that gambling app?
Right. The cornerback from the University of Toledo.
I like the fit. It's gonna be good for the Eagles, who for some reason are always good recently. Hard for them to find true needs. This was one, so it's huge that they're able to fill it right away.
I feel like I remember he committed to Toledo pretty early and then ended up getting a couple of offers after his senior season, but stuck with his original commitment to Toledo.
I like
Played there
that.
his whole
I like
career.
that a lot.
And ended up being a multi-time all-conference corner in the MAC. And second-team All-American last year, I think, or the year before, either way.
That's still pretty.
Oh, the second team 2 years ago, and then first team this past season, being the second back-to-back All-American in school history. That's pretty cool.
Nah, that's pretty awesome.
And we have seen small school corners work very recently, right? Like a la Sauce Gardner.
Yep. The difference there, though, is Sauce did it for all 3 years, didn't he?
Yeah. I think so. Either way, I mean, Quinn
Yeah.
Mitchell's very good at corner.
Yep. No, this is huge for a team that, like I said, they're generally speaking pretty good.
I would say, too, this doesn't scare me from the Jags. I'm probably still willing to take Terry and Arnold.
Absolutely.
Maybe different style of corner, but Terry and Arnold is great. Terry on Arnold. I feel like I'm slurring his name for some reason.
Show me the button. No, I'm kidding.
Turd Arnold.
They're on.
Turnold.
What a great show. We're putting on a great production here.
Yeah, it's going very well.
Ugh. I'm sorry, man. I'm slowly dying here.
Me too. I didn't go to sleep till like 2:30 last night for some reason.
I was running around at work all day.
I just couldn't fall asleep. So I'm running on like 3.5 hours of sleep.
I'm going to go ahead and say that the Jags are going corner because they got that pick in quick. They're not even done with the interview for Quinyon Mitchell, and picks already in.
But you also have to consider that we have been talking about how we have to be catching up to the next pick here with all the commercial breaks. So it's possible that they did take like the whole 10 minutes. It took that long for them to announce the Eagles pick.
That's fair.
Yeah, I would not at all be surprised if this is a corner. As we've been saying, I would also still not be that surprised if it is an offensive lineman, because you're looking at another team where they don't really have the offensive line squared away, but they feel like they have the quarterback, and you're really risking damaging your own quarterback if you don't have the offensive line in a good spot. So, if this is me drafting here, I am very strongly considering. I would say Graham Barton, and I know I've been saying that for 4 picks now. But
I'm with you, though. I like Graham Barton. It's hard to find a first-round value center, and that's what he's bringing to the table for you.
Just the difference maker with him, what makes him a first-round value center is that he's not necessarily just a center.
Exactly.
And if you needed him somewhere else, he could play somewhere else. I don't know that you have a solid enough center in your organization that you're not willing to, try and see if Graham Barton can beat him out. Anyway, so maybe Graham Barton does play at center for you this year.
Yep.
And what's wrong with taking a starting center in the first round if he ends up being your starting center for the next decade?
Yep.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, that's what you should be doing.
I'm also partial to centers.
It's okay. We forgive you.
And linebackers, but that's not going to happen.
They decide to say, we don't care about your analysis. We're going to go wide receiver, give Trevor Lawrence another weapon out there, another speedy weapon in Brian Thomas Jr.
Man, this is the same rebuild plan that the Bengals went down. Get yourselves a young quarterback you believe in. Get yourselves a very highly touted LSU receiver and abandon the offensive line. overpay for some mediocre tackles in free agency. Still have
Man,
concerns
Cam-
about it for a couple of years.
Cam Robinson does not have much longer left. Did he retire or no?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Brian
he's-
Thomas Jr. is good. So
Oh, Cam Robinson's younger than me. Gross.
welcome to the old ages, my friend.
I'm not even 30 yet.
Yeah, you are.
No,
You're 48. Don't lie.
I have another week. Let me have my week. Honestly, losing Calvin Ridley, I mean, take it for what you will. Was he that effective for him last year? Maybe, maybe not. He was getting better.
I mean,
I like the fit.
It's
Is what I'm
a
getting at.
gamble.
It's a need in here. A gamble with Calvin Ridley. He's got jokes.
Thank you. Thank you.
He'll be here for the next 2 hours while we get through the next 8 picks.
Right. Actually, I do pretty desperately need to use the restroom. I will be right back.
All right. Everyone's here with just me. This is dangerous. You're muted already. Oh, it's all just me. I can't bring anybody back, so we're here. All right, with the Cowboys on here, they need just about everything. They're picking a bad spot to need everything. They also desperately need offensive line that we've talked about quite a bit here. Graham Barton makes a lot of sense. Jackson Powers Johnson, if you're looking for another interior offensive guard more. Just too many needs out here. Can go corner. I don't know which way they're going to go. And we're cutting to commercial because why not?
One position you didn't mention, I could totally see him going for, is still wide receiver.
We are due for that run, although that's going to die with the Packers because they refuse to draft first round wide receivers.
Yeah.
Again, they need just about every position out here. Cooper DeJean actually does make a lot of sense if they want to go corner here because he has that positional versatility. To be
Yeah, but doesn't he just feel like a Packer? You know?
I don't quite know what you mean by that, but
Cooper DeJean feels like a Packer. That's what I mean by that.
You've also got the linebacker at NC State. That'd be a really good fit here as well to play alongside in the middle for Micah Parsons.
I mean, you know how much I love middle linebackers.
I know.
And
the Cowboys are generally pretty good at drafting middle linebackers too.
And Peyton
Or not the Packers, the Cowboys. So you said Packers too many times. You threw me off.
What could be fascinating is if they go for another just like athletic freak of a player.
Drafting on athletic ability alone.
And if they go out and grab Nate Wiggins.
Defensive back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they can risk that in their defensive backfield, though. And the reason I say that is you've got Trayvon Diggs, who is that athletic freak. He's pretty good at man coverage, but he's a liability out there, too. He's either getting the ball or it's going for 6.
Yeah, but like it worked once. Kind of.
Yeah, I was going to say, did it?
Kinda so far.
What are they doing here? Why is it taking them so long?
I mean, technically, the pick isn't in.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yep.
That's why.
Who are the Lions going after? Who is the Dan
Ooh.
Campbell pick? Who is that down and dirty mauler?
Part of me thinks this is Terrion Arnold.
I could see that.
Corner just went. You thought the Jags were going to take him, but they didn't. So now you jump up and make sure you get your guy. Maybe. The idea is you're getting ahead of the Bucks, Cardinals, and Bills. I don't know.
Wide receiver? I mean,
Maybe. Yeah, maybe with Brian Thomas going right there, and you think you have two more receiver picks ahead of you, maybe. If that were the move, who would it be?
if I would love to be in Detroit for this, though, just to watch what happens. The fans react when their team trades up, though. That's got to be fun.
The Lions trade number 29 overall and a third round pick to the Cowboys for number 24 overall and a 7th round pick.
Decent value. You're going up to get something you need, something you want.
I'm thinking decent value for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Pick up a third, move down 5 spots. I'm cool with that. Especially in a spot where you were just saying it's not like they're in a great position in this draft to get everything that they need. Pick up an extra third round pick, get a receiver later. Worry about
Which
what's
is,
coming at you at 29.
I would say that wide receiver is not the biggest need for the Cowboys either, anyway.
Right. I mean, I agree, but it's something to consider.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh. So this is just out fresh regarding the Dolphins pick.
Media's already getting to him.
Saying that the new defense Miami plans to run is the same that they were using at Penn State, putting him at nose and on the edge.
So he is going to go fill that Christian Wilkins role to a degree. Just not as I cannot see him being an effective run stopper up the middle like that.
Yeah. He's too light right now for that.
Yeah, but put him on an NFL training program.
I mean, you say that, but do you really expect him to still be as explosive as he is when you add 20 pounds?
If it's 20 pounds of explosive muscle.
That's rare.
I get it. I understand there are challenges. He's not going to be Christian Wilkins, but if their intent is for him to fill that role, NFL should be able to at least get him most of the way there. That's kind of their job.
I mean, I'm at a loss what the Lions are doing moving up for this.
They saw something they want, they need. That's the only obvious. I mean, that's obviously what it was, but
Well, sure, but like, what?
who would be the Dan Campbell pick here?
It's not even that. Why would you have to move up for him? What is who is the team in front of you that's threatening to take your guy? Like, I don't know who that guy is. Because I can see 4 or 5 of these dudes being quote unquote Dan Campbell guys, whatever that's supposed to mean. All that means is hard workers, right?
Down
Like,
dirt
these guys are
maulers.
bite your kneecap off guys.
Yep.
Even, I mean, yeah, a couple of these guys can do that. So what are you afraid of missing out on? I don't know. I don't know who that is. And what's with these children on stage?
Well, there's your answer.
Okay.
That makes sense.
It was the one that I thought it was initially when the trade happened. Okay. Fair enough.
Yep, and we took too long in commercials, so the pick's already in.
Yeah. The Terrion Arnold story is fascinating to me because everybody went in the season expecting Kool-Aid McKinstry to be like the best corner in the country. And so everybody targeted Terrion Arnold. And then
Yes.
it turns out Terrion Arnold was better.
And the
Wow.
best defensive back in the country played at Air Force. Absolutely wild.
That's it's not even true. So
The award says otherwise.
the award doesn't know what hit him. Green Bay Packers, again, I could definitely see this being Cooper DeJean. That's a very Packers move to me.
It really is.
Or Johnny Newton.
I could see Tampa going with
The opposite of where this one goes.
Or they get a tackle. What about Tyler Guyton?
This is honestly more of the little bit of the fun part of the draft because these teams are generally better put together at this point. So finding their needs, it's a little more of an X factor that we're not expecting. How pissed would Aaron Rodgers be if they went wide receiver here after his entire time they refused?
I feel like at this point he wouldn't say anything.
Would he go back into his hole?
He's probably already in his hole.
That's fair. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Next time we see him, he'll be on Rogan.
Like, as long as the next time we see him, it's not at the vice president booth, we're good. I know that's already been shot down, but the fact that it was even a thing at one point.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I really wouldn't mind this being a tackle. The more I think about it, the more I want that to be the thing. If this is Tyler Guyton, I think this is pretty awesome for the Packers.
Can we just get to it, please?
Well, no, because Terrion Arnold is at the draft, so we're going to take some time to recognize him. That's great.
And it's the hometown team. I get it.
Yeah, I have no problem with this taking as long as it has. It's the other stuff where we cut to commercial and go back to talking about J.J. McCarthy more. That gets me irked.
I mean, I guess the home search for Terry and Arnold's going to be pretty easy. They don't really have to go anywhere right now.
Yeah, just stay at the hotel an extra couple days and until your agent finds you an apartment.
Yep.
I have Daughtry stuck in my head.
There are worse bands to have stuck in your head.
I agree. It's just, why?
Why not?
Why Daughtry? Because it's been a little bit since I listened to them. That's why. Pick has been in for the Packers for a while.
Yep.
Again, at this point in the draft, it's hard to tell if this is a guy that they jumped on immediately or if it did take some time and the draft coverage is taking long enough that we don't realize how much time it took. Oh, yeah. The Cardinals are actually on the clock now, technically. Looking at the screens in the back of the actual draft.
Oh, my God. Jesus.
The Cardinals have 9 minutes left on the clock. This is where you say, the NFL draft kind of happens a little bit behind the scenes. And then what we see here is the reality show of the draft.
I'm not entirely convinced, not to be on the NFL is rigged, but I'm not convinced that this doesn't happen earlier than what they post and they just put the show on. There's been, especially this time with ESPN, there's been too many things that have been queued up the right way.
Yeah. Wow.
You called it.
It is not the tackle I thought it was going to be, though. Jordan Morgan is interesting here because, again, he's in the same kind of situation that Fatanu is in, where he's like probably a little bit of shorter arms than you would look for in a pure tackle and might move into guard.
Yeah.
Going to the Packers here, though, I kind of expect that he's going to stay at tackle because that's what they need. I don't know. Is that even true? I mean, the Packers feel like they could use a bunch of positions on the offensive line right now, actually.
You get a little bit of positional versatility here, and I like that. I mean, I know he's played mostly tackle, but I do like the fit. And like you said, they need a little bit of everything. Bakhtiari, is he still with the Packers or is he retired?
I don't even know at this point.
He is a free agent currently, so you need to fill those shoes real quick. I think he stays out at tackle. He might not be your prototypical size, but that only goes so far.
Yeah. Other thing I'm concerned about him is his potential to reach block and not stay in his power zone, which is all the more important at the NFL level at tackle, which is kind of another reason why it seems like a move to guard would work for him because you can get away with that at guard. And not only that, but sometimes that's what's required of you at guard, moving guys out of a hole. But at tackle, you kind of need to stay in your stance and move with the guy instead of just lunging at him and reaching for him.
Yep.
So it's going to take some coaching, in my mind, to get Jordan Morgan in a spot where he can be your left tackle of the future kind of a guy. But yeah, that's kind of what they need right now more than anything. So I get it. I just assumed it would be Tyler Guyton instead.
All right, so if you're the Cardinals, which way are you going here, though? You drafted receiver. You drafted arguably the best receiver in recent years in the draft. The cleanest prospect. So which way you going?
It's got to be either offensive line or corner.
I like the fit for the Cards for offensive line. For the Bucks, ooh. Bucks need a lot
I
of
think
positions
too.
For the Bucks, it's the same thing. Right now, you either go offensive line or you go corner.
And that's
what's
best
available in
available
this
here.
class right
Yeah.
Maybe receiver. I know a lot of people are saying the Buccaneers need receiver pretty kind of desperately. Actually.
Yeah, but you got Mr. 1000 himself.
You're in some weird, like, timeline situations with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Like, how much longer do you actually have of those guys? Are you willing to pay them another contract coming up in the future? And you might be closer to departing with those guys than it seems on the surface. Like, I understand that argument, but come on, you have a couple of great offensive linemen still available, and there's only been a couple of corners go. You can get a legitimate first-round corner here.
I mean, Mike Evans still has not had a sub 1,000-yard season.
I'm not saying anything against the talent of Mike Evans or Chris Godwin even.
No, I know.
I'm just saying, are you really have to go to
commercial after that?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if I believe it. Hulu's telling me there's 15 minutes left. So I guess I do believe it if this is the last commercial break.
Even if that were the last commercial break, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks left. No way.
Look how much that crowd is thinned out, though. Oh, you probably don't have that same cut.
I absolutely do not. Although I will say the Buffalo Bills are on the clock with 8 minutes, 20 seconds left.
Oh, so the Cardinals took their time.
Yes.
This year seems way more egregious with the commercial breaks and all. I don't know why. It just seems way worse than it has been in the past.
I think they really made an effort to not have many commercial breaks in the beginning of the draft.
Yeah.
And so it's so backloaded that it really hurts this year. 2 picks and a commercial, 2 picks and a commercial. If it's consistent, doesn't feel nearly as bad as we had 4 picks with deep analysis, and then now we have 1 pick commercial, 1 pick commercial, 1 pick commercial.
Yeah. I mean, come on, you're 4 minutes into 2 picks down the line.
Right. All right. On the screen, at least, we have Graham Barton. I don't know if it's Yeah. On NFL Network for me, Goodell's still walking on the stage.
I've got it confirmed, Graham Barton, on my end.
Okay.
Your boy goes at 26
Finally.
overall. I was getting worried there that you jinxed him with the hat selection. I know you're not
I
superstitious,
was
but
confident.
I like it. Tampa Bay needs a lot.
And they do announce him as a center, which is interesting as well to me. Because the last couple of years he has played left tackle, but it is assumed he will play center in the NFL.
But it's
for him left tackle.
I think this one I am confident calling a steal because you're getting that upside. He's played all over the line, so you're getting that positional versatility. What you're lacking now is specific positional experience based on where you're drafting him. But I'd rather him be exposed to more positions, have more options for him, especially on a line like Tampa Bay's where they need a little bit of help at just about everything, and I can slide him in wherever I need him to be.
I wouldn't even say he lacks the experience at center. I mean, he played center in high school and he played center the first year at Duke. Like, he's shown he is a good center.
Yeah.
Hopefully we do get a quick pick here for the Cardinals announcement. I mean, because the pick has been in for a while.
Oh, who is doing? Oh, God, whoever had that camera angle sucked. They're trying to do the sky cam and they couldn't get it focused.
I would love for this to be a corner for them. How much we've been talking about, or how much I've been talking about them.
Instead, it is a defensive end, Darius Robinson, out of Missouri.
I'm glad he got into the first round. Darius Robinson's a great player. Do like him a lot. He's not like the top end pass rusher that you would see go in the first round most years, but I feel like this year is thin enough of tier 1 pass rushers that a couple of tier 2 guys did make it into the first round.
Well, and
a la Chop Robinson and Darius Robinson, who are not related.
Well, and the thing to note here too is there is a key as we're looking here on NFL Network or NFL's position here. He's listed as a defensive end. He's going to fit more in that 4-3 mold where it's not just that pure pass rusher that you're looking for. It's also more of, ironically, somebody set the edge on the run and stop outside rushes from getting outside of you. That's what that position does. And he does that very well.
And on top of that, he still had 8.5 sacks last year.
Which is wild.
Honestly, it's pretty rough having half a sack in there. Whew. Feel bad for the guy. Whole numbers only, please.
Ugh. I'm trying, man. I am fading fast, but I am trying.
You're doing all right. You're going to make it. It's okay.
I know. We're close.
Yeah, he's like 50 pounds heavier than Chop Robinson.
From Kirk Cousins' agent, yes, it was a big surprise. We had no idea this was coming. The truth is, the whole league had no idea this was coming. We got no heads up. Kirk got a call from the Falcons when they were on the clock. That was the first we heard it. It never came up in conversation. Kirk Cousins is big mad right now. I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either, but at the same time, like, you better get over it, buddy.
Yeah, back to what I had said, like, it's
Yeah.
not the owner's responsibility or the GM's responsibility to tell you.
Right.
Their job is to come up with a salary, and you have one.
And you have a pretty darn good one, I might add.
Yeah.
So, suck it up, Buttercup.
We gotta. Oh, it's not showing on there yet, so I'll wait.
Got a trade?
We got to trade. Bills are trading back. Bills are trading back to Kansas City.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
You brought the name up a few times. I think it makes sense here. You're jumping ahead of the Cowboys. You're jumping ahead of the Ravens. You're looking offensive line is what my initial gut is. Tyler
know.
Guyton would make sense here.
He would. And I agree that would be a guy you would probably need to move above the Ravens for at this point. Maybe the Cowboys. But, like, I don't know.
The other thing I would be trading up for here would be, well, we said it, tail end of this. This is when you switch with the Bills for to make it happen. Fits the mold of a Kansas City kind of guy. You could go Xavier Worthy and get that speed back.
Here's my issue, though. Like, Xavier Worthy is nothing but speed. He has some drop issues.
I get it.
and
I'm trying to think of what
concerned
you're
with his
trading
route
up for here.
Like, there's a reason for the most part, until he got that 4.21, he was considered like a third-round receiver.
And he's going to enter the season mostly as a returner anyway, unless he goes in this first round. But with the new rules this year, that might be worth it too.
I mean, it definitely could be receiver. I mean, you're looking at A.D. Mitchell, looking at Xavier Leggett, looking at Xavier Worthy, of course. Ricky
Lad
Pearsall,
McConkey.
Lad McConkey. I don't know. You're still looking at a couple of great corners on the board that the Chiefs might have been concerned aren't going to make it past the Ravens and 49ers. And maybe the Cowboys weren't willing to move again. That's possible.
So the Bills weren't looking wide receiver because if they were, there's no way they traded away from that spot.
Or maybe they are looking wide receiver, but they have like 5 options on the board right now. So they're okay moving back.
Yeah.
If they have Ricky Pearsall, Keon Coleman, and Xavier Leggett all graded equally right here, then maybe they don't care which of those guys falls to them.
That's fair.
I don't know that any of those guys are graded as first-round receivers by the Bills. I'm just throwing out a couple of names that might be.
Yeah.
At 32, expands the range of things a little bit. And Michael Penix, the Falcons, is crazy to me. I agree with Kirk Cousins. No, I don't love that. I said that, but I did say that.
Who do we get on the board in the background? How far deep are we? It doesn't show me. That looks
I
like
bet the Cowboys are. I bet the Cowboys are still.
It looks like the Cowboys logo. It's fuzzy, but it looks like the Cowboys logo. See, this is what gets me too. Is the Bills were down to 1 minute remaining. Like, if you execute that trade there, they should not reset the clock.
if you're making a trade here, you should know who you want, and it should be trade, and you have until the end of that timer expires.
Well, I don't think they do reset the clock. I think what probably happens is when you call it in the league office, you say this trade happened. Also, this is who we're selecting.
Yeah, that's what I would expect.
So-
I just don't get why we're taking 6 years to.
Well, they cut to commercial. The Cowboys are on the clock with 5.5 minutes left. I'm sure they didn't reset the clock for the Chiefs. That crowd is thinned out massively. You are right.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. I mean, the Lions drafted somebody in this other
Yeah.
time.
All right, we're going home, guys.
It is also 11:30.
Yeah, Detroit time.
And guess what? They still suck.
I also think that this whole somebody else announces the pick is cool in the later rounds. I don't think it has a place in the first round. That maybe I'm being rude. I don't know what they're saying. I don't really care, but that's just me.
I agree. Only exception I would have is Walter Payton Man of the Year. Give that a national stage for 30
Yep.
seconds. I'm good with that. The Kansas City Chiefs. All right, you were correct.
They're going for speed.
They're going the distance.
That's a little scary,
Speed.
to be honest. Getting Mahomes with a fast receiver like that again. And he is size and everything, too, I want to say.
I mean, he's not massive. He ain't tiny, but he ain't massive. 5'11", 165.
I got.
NFL Network's saying he's basically Tank Dell, who went in the 3rd round last year. So,
Yep.
only difference being Xavier Worthy ran a 4.21,
Yep.
whereas Tank Dell ran like a 4.24 or something, 4.25. It was still crazy fast.
I would agree with you for most other teams. I don't think Xavier Worthy makes a ton of sense in the first round. I think he fits the Chiefs' style a lot better.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I
Yeah.
know why people say that, and I know why they took him, and I kind of get it. And he fills a void that you've basically had a hole in your offense ever since Tyreek left you in that
But-
speed freak role.
But my
But
concern
he
with him,
can't do the same stuff that Tyreek was able to do, other than run fast.
no, and my concern with him is the same that you highlighted, which is drops, which is what has plagued
Yeah.
Kansas City all last season.
Right.
I need him to be sure-handed.
I mean, they're probably going to win the Super Bowl again. So what do I know? Maybe Cooper DeJean to the Cowboys.
It's a very Jerry Jones pick.
You know who else is a Jerry Jones pick here is Xavier Legette.
Anybody from Arkansas?
Reach down the board and get that kicker. What's his name from Arkansas?
Get the punter. Come on, first round
Cam
punter.
Little. Cam Little is what I was thinking of. Picking up on her.
The Bills did it, Doug. They finally have the last pick in the first round. They didn't get it by winning the Super Bowl, though.
I mean, that's great for them. I hope they're happy with that. I wonder what they got for it.
Yeah, I still
That
haven't
is
seen any
moving down to
reports.
quite a few spots. Probably based off of everything else we've been seeing today. Probably about a 4th round pick or so. 3rd round pick, maybe.
I
Hey, there we go.
I have it.
Tyler Guyton.
Where
What was the trade?
Well, hold on. Athlon had a fucking ad blocker wall.
That's nice. Tyler Guyton finally went, though. Dallas Cowboys here. Makes a ton of sense to me. As I said before, I would have taken him over Morgan, the Packers took. But Tyler Guyton is going to a great situation. And Cowboys do their best work when they are drafting offensive linemen in the first round every year. That's basically their formula for success. So keep doing that. And you can have whoever you want at quarterback, and you can have whoever you want at receiver. And you find some steals on the defensive side of the ball in day 2. And you have a very
The
strong
recipe
team
for
basically
still
every
falling
year.
short in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, but they're pretty good.
So that trade, Bills send 28 and a 4th and a 7th. They receive a 3rd rounder, pick 95, and pick 221 earlier in the 7th than what they traded back for.
Okay. 3 pick swaps.
What enabled that trade was Brian Thomas going to the Jags.
Interesting.
I think the Bills were all in on wide receiver. Brian Thomas was the last they had on their board. He went, and they were like, well, I shouldn't say the last, but the last.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's interesting. I wonder if they tried to move up very aggressively. I mean, it obviously didn't happen for them, but I wonder how much they tried
Yeah.
and who with, because that would be interesting to know. Didn't seem like too many teams were in the business of trading down too far this draft.
No, teams. It's been a very quiet, almost borderline boring draft, to be honest with you.
As far as big trades go, yeah, especially
Yeah.
compared to last year, because the Texans went up and picked back-to-back 2 and 3.
Yep.
I mean, never seen anything like that. That was nuts. And then the Cardinals trading back and then trading back up into the take their guy at tackle at number 6 last year.
Quick,
Nothing like that this
take a
year either.
Quick, take a picture of the Ravens draft room
I know.
with some enhancements. You can read their entire draft board.
Enhance. Damn. That was small handwriting. Still have a couple of great corners on the board.
Yep.
And a couple of great receivers. I mean, I at this point, I don't trust the Ravens will take a receiver in the first round, even if it is a new offensive coordinator. It is still John Harbaugh. It's just not what they do. This could also potentially be a defensive lineman or edge rusher, just because that's another thing that the Ravens do.
I really want Cooper DeJean to go in the first round. I like his chances with San Francisco.
Yeah, they are the team for white guys playing positions they are not allowed to play normally.
They're not allowed to play.
Saying it like it is.
Did you notice the Ravens also have their picks up on their whiteboard so they don't forget when they pick?
I did not. But
Oh,
that's
yeah.
great. That's
Ravens picks 30-62.
It's important to know,
Yeah, you don't want to forget that.
right?
They're definitely speeding this up now. You can feel it.
You know what would be fantastic right here is to get a linebacker into the first round.
Yeah, instead you get Nate Wiggins.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Bills could go linebacker. Like now that you say
I really expected instead of Nate Wiggins to the Ravens, I felt like Kool-Aid was more of the Ravens kind of corner. Wiggins is
that,
so
homegirl is falling out. Sorry.
Wiggins is so just inadequate in run defense that I'm surprised the Ravens went for him. But he is great in coverage, legitimately great in coverage.
Yeah.
And put him on one-on-one so he can handle his own very well against almost any receiver. Very different kinds of receivers as well. Like he's phenomenal in coverage, but he just is not a tackler. And put him in open space against a runner, and he can't do anything about it. But balls in the air, not too many other guys I'd rather have in this draft class. Obviously, being a first round corner, but
Yeah, head up tackling is not going to be a strength here. You're not, but you're also
yeah. But
selecting-
you want some of that if you're drafting a defensive back in the first round. You would like to have a little bit of everything.
yeah, but you
If you
like
can,
you were
if you can find it.
like you were also saying though, you're getting a solid boundary corner who I can put out there and not worry about on day one.
Exactly. It's definitely more important. I would say this is probably our last commercial break. I at least very much hope so.
But could you imagine if they go between the Niners and the Bills? Jesus.
And then Roger Goodell gets up on stage to announce the Bills pick, and he stops mid-sentence and goes to commercial break.
Oh my God. Stop. It's very ESPN of you.
It's not too much longer before we get name sponsors on the number pick. Now presenting the Home Depot #1 overall pick in the NFL draft. Now presenting the #2 overall pick by
Hold
by
on.
Marriott Hotels.
The Home Depot #1 pick presented by Bud Light.
Yeah.
The Bud Light NFL draft. Like,
yeah. And now the Buffalo Wild Wings #16 overall pick presented by
Home Depot.
Arby's.
Oh my God, the double tap
the-
there. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. In the Bud Light NFL draft.
Dude, it's getting out of control. And like, I get it. I'm okay with it. But at some point,
This is the Boeing Seahawks select. Starbucks Seahawks select.
the Boeing Seahawks select the Amazon #13 overall pick brought to you by.
Brought to you by MGM Casinos.
Sponsored by the Rose Bowl.
Nate Wiggins, Northwestern Mutual cornerback from the University of Clemson, brought to you by Somebody.
The Southeastern Athletic Conference.
Brought to you by Menards. Clemson University brought to you by Menards.
I wonder if that ever happens, if Menards would offer the team a rebate on that pick.
If the team mails in the postcard, they get a compensatory pick next year.
But you have to mail the postcard by a certain
Right.
date at a certain time that no team
Right.
will ever meet.
It has to be postmarked at exactly 10:43 a.m.
That's when teams would start bringing post office or postal workers direct into the team facility. So they'd be like, postmark it now.
Right.
10% back on one player contract from the first round.
The Tennessee FedEx Titans select.
Hold on. The overnight shipment got delayed for his jersey. We'll be back after this.
Oh, jeez. No, they're not hosting the draft in Rapid City. We haven't even discussed what this 49ers pick might be at all. We've been making
I
fun of
like defensive back here.
capitalism. Do I like defensive back here? That
You
is
got
the question.
you got Cooper DeJean, you got
Kool-Aid.
Newbin. If you're going,
Do have Newbin. I don't think Newbin goes in the first round. I would honestly, what would be really interesting is if Ennis Rakestraw goes here. I doubt that's the pick, but that would be interesting to me. Would also be very fun to get a big body receiver here and put the league on notice that Brandon Ayuk is available instead of extending him. Wow.
You beat me. Well, there's your
big body wide receiver.
Not the biggest of bodies, 6'1" something. But still, like, yeah, he does a lot of the things that you would expect of a 49ers receiver. That pick makes a lot of sense to me now I'm thinking about it. Now that I'm forced to live with it.
So are they.
So how many offensive players is this in this first round? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I was gonna say you're better if kind of
13, 14.
14 off the bat. 15.
1, 2, 3,
16. 17.
7,
18.
8, 9.
20.
Only 9 defensive players I counted.
I was
that
gonna say I
add
counted
up?
21 just off you scrolling real quick. 21 offensive. Just start at pick 15.
Yeah,
The
because
first 14
the
were
first 14 were offense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, the Bills traded down again. The Carolina Panthers move up one spot to get that 5th-year option on somebody.
Where are they going after?
I would assume receiver that has been linked as their biggest need.
Yeah, but we can't be thinking the Bills are just going to keep trading out of receiver positions. Like if a receiver goes here, that's got to be an F on the Bills.
So the Bills move down one spot and move up 59 spots later in the class. They acquire 141, trading away 200. I don't know, man. When you have basically the same grade on like 3 guys, go
I
ahead
get
and
it.
let somebody else pick in front of you.
I get you. I
If
can't
you're
be
adding
thinking.
value later in the day, tomorrow, I mean, why not?
I just find it hard to believe that you don't have one guy that you like just a little bit more than the rest. Although the Bills, I think they're coming into the fear that their window is either closing quickly or closed.
Right? People have been connecting Xavier Legette to the Panthers for quite some time here. With thinking it would be a 33. I don't know that calculus changes now that you're at 32 instead of 33. But also, people didn't probably plan on Cooper DeJean and Johnny Newton and Kool-Aid McKinstry and A.D. Mitchell
Yeah.
all being here. Again, not convinced that that changes your calculus. But the pick is in.
Come on, NFL. What do you got?
Let's go. Also interesting to me that the Bills gave up having a 5th-year option on a guy out of this year. Just curious. Yep. The expected quote-unquote pick for the Panthers at 33 becomes the pick at 32. Xavier Legette here. I'm glad he got into the first round. I love that for him. He's a phenomenal player. Bigger receiver than some of these other guys that have gone. Like body weight and stuff. I think he's still only like 6'1", but closer to. He's well over 200 pounds. So definitely an outside guy. And that does it for the first round of the NFL draft.
It does. They took their time getting there, as they usually do.
I mean, we expect it to be about 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But thank you for tuning in with us. If you did, we are the big dudes in the trenches, and we are done with the draft this year. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be on tomorrow night because of a work thing I have going on tomorrow.
And I have
I
not
know
seen
that's
my
probably
family all
true
day,
of
so
both
I owe
of you.
them.
So
Yeah, no, I've not seen my family all day, so I owe them tomorrow.
But all right, thank you all, and we'll be watching tomorrow, just not live. So
Yep.
if you want to join the conversation with us, I'm sure at least one of us will be on the Discord, basically at all times during the draft, and ready to talk football with you guys. So thank you. See y'all very soon. Peace out.
See ya.